Welcome back to O&M Live here on 2AY and Edge FM. Great to have Edge FM as the official O&M Live broadcaster right across northeast Victoria and the border in 2025. Blake Pandaresco with you, Gus McLeod. We also have David Dawson-Wink and Bobby Jackson. I think we have him down on the boundary as well, all thanks to Corowa Tiles and Corowa Better Electrical. You're on the ground, Bobby. What are conditions like out there?
Absolutely perfect for footy out here today, fellas. Not a breath of wind, not a zephyr of wind, and the ground's in very good condition as well. Just walking out the wicket now. The wicket looks like it's...
Have a bowl sort of stuff, Bob?
Oh, well, no, I'd bet.
Of course.
No, it looks like in perfect condition, and no excuses for either team today. I'm just looking at the back there towards the west, and there's a few dark clouds, but I don't think it's any sort of threatening weather coming our way. But yeah, as the Lavington side runs onto the ground, I'll be interested to see. There's some definite late changes, but I could not squeeze the definite changes out of the Lavington support staff as I just walked past them before. So we'll have to wait and see what they line up like.
Bobby, a lot of talent on display today, and the crowd are looking forward to seeing some of that as well. How many in the house do you reckon? A little bit low, I think.
It's very light. Very, very disappointing, if I'm going to be honest. It doesn't... Yeah, a couple hundred. Yeah, it's pretty disappointing, if I'm going to be really honest.
It's lean. Hopefully plenty tuning in via Snap, Print Solutions TV, and of course on 1494 2AY or 102.1 Edge FM. Some changes that we can confirm. Jono Spina, the captain, he's not playing and he's got the tracksuit on. Big Rooster Oosterhoff, he's got the brace on his hand and he's in the pinks today. And Drew Bevan are the confirmed outs that we do have. I have seen a couple of players come into the lineup. I've seen Aidan Cook out there warming up. I've seen Darcy Smith. I've also seen Lockie Gaffney out there as well. So there's three changes coming into the mix as well. And I don't know about Corby Robertson. I don't know whether he's out there as well. That would make it 4 changes. We'll do our best to find out who they all are once we get a little bit closer to kick-off here. Panda, as the Rovers make their way out onto the WJ Finlay Oval, we are expecting some more changes to come through, Winky, and that could wreak havoc on your 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, well, just looking, none of the guys that were on there have been pulled out, but it looks like Corby Robertson is out there for Lavington with that shocking haircut he's running, the bleached yellow hair. So we do have a 4th change by the looks of that, Gus.
So we'll do our best to find out who that 4th and final change is. We'll try and endeavour to find out who it is, but of course we will be having a pre-game ceremony here to commemorate Anzac Day yesterday and celebrate and remember those who fought for our great nation.
Welcome.
There's Bobby J. He's doing some of his best work down there with Wally Pasquale. He's one of the best in the business, is Wall, but repeating a few changes for the Lavington Panthers out of the side. Jono Spina, Drew Bevan, and, of course, the big rooster, Tim Oosterhoff. They are the 3 confirmed outs that we know of. We are waiting to find out who the final one is. I've got a feeling it might be Tommy
Hello,
Hargrove.
everybody.
And we'll cross boundary side now for the pre-game ceremony.
Thanks and welcome today. Welcome to Lavington Football Club. It's a real special day. Please join us for 1 minute silence to honour and remember all of those that served and sacrificed for our country. lest we forget. Let's go, boys.
Pre-match ceremony done and dusted here on O&M Live. Short and sharp. Of course, not an official formality, but of course, fine-tune with the round, the Anzac Day round here across the Ovens and Murray. We did our best to bring you that here on 2AY and Edge FM as both teams now go into their warm-ups. Repeating the score in the twos, it was a win to the Wangaratta Rovers over the Lavington Panthers as well. David Wink, I might throw you under the bus here, but who are we taking a look at on our 40 Wink stat sheet today, please?
So for the Wangaratta Rovers, we're going to take, as always, the coach Sam Murray. We know how much of the football he wins. Sam Catapan, who's averaging 31 disposals so far this season, so take his numbers today. Charlie Thompson, who after a quiet week one has really started to get going in the last two games. Xavier Allison has been dominating off halfback, and we'll take Brody Filo's numbers as well. And then for the Lavington Panthers, we're going to take some young gun stats. We got young Jack Costello, who, along with Sam Catapan, is averaging those 30 disposals a game. Jesse Hart, Billy Glanville, young gun Alex Swinington, and then Sean Driscoll across the half-forward line.
All right, Bobby J down on the boundary for Cora Tiles. Cora Better Electrical. Any wind to speak of out there at the WJ Finlay Oval, Bobby?
Look, there's less than a zephyr heading towards the tennis court end, lads, but nothing to speak of down here. It's probably a little bit of a breeze that can just cool the players off, because there's a little bit of sting in that sun as Gus has sort of worked out the hard way there up on the balcony, that open air, beautiful broadcast area that you've got.
Just turn around, Bobby, and have a look at who won the toss, my friend.
They snuck up on me. Lavington have won the toss, and they're kicking to the netball or tennis court end of the ground.
My man, Shawnee Driz, the captain today.
Couple of wee men out here tossing the coin.
Xavier Allison
Xavier
as well.
Allison and Driscoll. A couple of knee-high characters.
Nothing wrong with that, Bobby?
No,
Bobby,
nothing wrong at all.
Bobby, you've got the most important job.
Yes.
You need to go to Timber or whoever you can on the Lavington bench and find out who the fourth out is, because we do have 4 changes today. Out of the lineup is going to be John O'Spina, Drew Bevan, and Tim Ulsterhoff, who have all been named. Ulsterhoff's got a broken hand and he'll be doing the running in the pinks today. No Bevan, no Spina. They're still kitted up in their Lavington gear. And into the side is going to be Darcy Smith, Aidan Cook, Lockie Gaffney, and Corby Robertson. All of those players have come into the lineup, and we're going to try and do our best to endeavour to find out who the other out is for the Lavington Panthers. And I'll tell you what, there's a few noticeable outs today, Bobby, for the Panthers, but the old analogy, one soldier in, one soldier out, is going to have to come to the forefront today for Lavy.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and I'm just sort of walking over to the Lavington group now, and the before mentioned Lavington support staff, no chance of getting it out of him, so I'm just trying to walk over here and work it out for myself.
Keep your eye on for Tommy Hargrave. He's the one.
He's not out there.
Yeah,
Bang.
so he's the one that's out. I thought
He's the captain normally.
No, John O'Spina. He's this year.
So there's your man, Tommy Hargrave. He's the number 13 for the Lavington Panthers, who's been an absolute stalwart through that midfield, and he's probably the general there with the young guys that are coming through that Lavington midfield. So he'll be sorely missed. But as you've said, boys, one soldier out, one soldier in, and that's the mentality Snides is probably going to go with. And he's put a lot of trust and a lot of responsibility into these young fellas coming through, and he spoke heavily about ball movement and changing angles and so forth after the Myrtleford game. So it'll be interesting to see how they go against the class outfit in the defending premiers, the Rovers. They look sharp in their warm-up. They look really switched on, and I think that round one was a little bit of a mishap, and they'd look ready for business. So I'm just watching them disperse now, and Sammy Murray's just drifting through the midfield group. It doesn't look like he's going to start down forward, boys. So that's someone's big call early. He's not going to...
That's because I think he probably knows Drew Bevan isn't playing, and he reckons he might have free rein out there today, Sam Murray. So
fill his boots, you reckon?
Confirming those 4 out. So no John O'Spina, no Tom Hargrave, no Tim the Rooster Ulsterhoff, and no Drew Bevan. Replaced by Corby Robertson, Darcy Smith, Aidan Cook, and Lockie Gaffney, number 18, is out there for the Lavington Panthers. I believe the Rovers are going in unchanged as well. So a pretty full-strength lineup minus Kieran Parnell. They've made the one change. Parnell out and Dylan Wilson in for the Wangaratta Rovers. So we're almost ready for lift-off here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Who wins, Bobby J, and why?
I think Rovers will get the job done. Margin, could be anything today. Could be anything. 5+ goals.
Gus?
Wangaratta Rovers will win comfortably for mine around the 10-goal mark.
What about you, David Dawson-Wink?
Yeah, won't go as hard as Gussie there, but with all those outs, I think Rovers should have this one by 6 goals.
Yeah, I reckon the Rovers by about 5 or 6 goals as well. Just too many outs for mine for the Lavington Panthers, and they might be up against it today. as we're about to get underway here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Here's Gus McLeod for A-grade oars and batteries.
Anzac Day weekend footy here at the WJ Finlay Oval. The Rovers locking horns with the Panthers on O&M Live. Big contest from the start. Sam Murray applying a nice tackle and will ball the footy up on the edge of the centre square. On the broadcast side, head over the footy. Well done there by Pat Ryan. He's absorbed in a big tackle. Dylan Stone lures. Umpire calls for a stoppage once again. Really intriguing midfield battle today. Jack Driscoll up in the ruck against the 1-2 punch of Damon and Christie. Breaking away is Charlie Thompson for the Rovers. On the right boot, not his best, Lockie McCartney. He's absorbed in a big tackle there by Bennett, who of course has returned to the club from the Monash Blues in 2025.
I really liked his game last week, Alex Bennett. Here's Perryman. He's classy. So is Billy Glanville. Ball just on the boundary line in front of the club rooms here at the WJ Finlay. Bennett now for the Panthers. Off a step, kicks to half forward. Big pack of plays. Thompson's first there. So is young Swinnerton, my man. Thompson, was he grabbed high? Umpire says play on. The Rovers win it back. Murray, aggressive switch across the ground straight away. Over the head of O'Brien on the far side of the ground. Costello, the two running machines up against each other. Love that battle today. And we're going to have a ball up. 55 around from Lavington's goal. The switch didn't quite come off for the Rovers. We have played just over a minute here in the opening term for A-grade oars and batteries. No score to either side between the Rovers and the Panthers.
Blake Penderescott calling the action this afternoon. Thanks to McRae Motors and O&M Live. As the ball goes inside forward 50 for the first time, it's with the Lavington Panthers. Shaganolan tries to exit D50. Nice little 1-2 with Catapan. Now Lockie O'Brien on the boot. And he finds Charlie Thompson across left half back. Charlie goes by hand to the runner of O'Brien. He's streaming through the defensive part of the centre square, brings it out to the broadcast side, and Booth marks here for the Rovers. He's got a runner on if he wants to use him. It's Smith. Smith's going to go inside 50, top of the goal square, looking to find Coops out the back. Bennett's there for Lavington, and he's happy to see it across the goal line for a minor score. So the Rovers are on the board first. It comes via a minor score rushed. And that's on the Game Traffic and Contracting scoreboard. Call 1-800-GET-GAME.
Here's Ed Perryman in the back pocket for the Lavy Panthers. Good transition footy there from the Rovers right through the middle of the WJ Finlay, Bobby J. That's when they're at their most dangerous.
They are. Initially, the ruck contest between Driscoll and Ed Damon at the moment is quite intriguing, and it'll be interesting to see how Driscoll goes throughout the day, because at the moment he looks like he's up for the fight, and the stoppages are quite interesting to watch at this point.
Bobby J on the boundary for Cora Tiles here on O&M Live. Kick from Driscoll out towards the far side of the ground was disappointing, and out of touch and out of play, and we'll have a boundary throw in 60 out from the Rovers goal. We've kicked the only point in this game. We've played 3 minutes to Maccas. They lead by 1 point on the Game Traffic and Contracting scoreboard. Any early signs, David Dawson Wink on the 40-wing stat sheet?
Charlie Thompson's found 3 early disposals for the Wang Rovers, Panda.
You'd think someone would keep him in their fantasy team, wouldn't you?
I got him back in this week.
Sacked and straight back in. Inside 50 go the Rovers via Paul. Poor kick, and Bennett. He's been everywhere across the back line today for the Panthers. He switches out to the showground side, and it's a nice mark out in front. So Lavington want to bring the ball inboard, turned over. Glanville, this is Billy, got some work to do. Handballs forward, trying to find Perryman. Now it's Xavier Allison mopping up onto Sam Murray, the coach for the Rovers. In front of the Game Traffic and Contracting scoreboard, he kicks inside 50 to the lead of Nathan Cooper. We had a bit too much pace there for Jesse Hart, and he marks 45 from home. Wants to dart the ball into the pocket. Poor kick from Big Coops. Put the Rovers under a fair bit of pressure. Lavington, Kai Davies has Sharon in hand. They're going to switch the ball across goal to Pat Ryan, and he marks in the pocket. And they're going to link the ball up nicely now with Perryman. A couple early disposals for 40 winks.
Perryman finds Driscoll. This is Sean on the wing. He's got a little short one in front of him. Here's Aidan Cook. First touch of senior footy in 2025. Good inbound kick. Link up play, Glanville. Kicks to about 20 out from goal over everyone's head. Charlie Sanson was his intended target. And here's my man Swinno. He will line up for his first goal 30 metres out directly in front. Just
the change of angles coming out of defence there. The Lavington midfield and crew from behind the ball have just chopped and changed the angles on the Rovers sagging back defence and caught them out. And that was a beautiful display of footwork by the whole group coming full length of the ground.
So Alex Swinnerton averaging 20 disposals and 2 goals across the first 2 Ovens and Murray games. Spoken a lot about him. Like the look of the youngster, comes in, pushes it out to the right, but it sneaks home. He gets into Shaganolan as well. He's got a bit of sizzle, does Alex Swinnerton, and it's through for a steal line goal today. The Panthers get the first, 1 straight 6 to the Rovers, 1 behind on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard. 5 minutes played, David Wink.
Full forward to go back and have a shot, I think.
Just Lavington having a different look up forward with the Rooster out there, just shuffling the decks a little bit with the smaller brigade up forward, and young Swinnerton, he might have a good day out if you're giving him plenty of space.
So the first goal via Alex Swinnerton on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard. The Sharon's a bit late to come back, Bobby. What's happening down behind the sticks?
Little kids ran away with
Kids
it,
ran
hasn't
away
it?
with it, mate. Yeah.
Jeez.
We are in Wangaratta.
Yeah, and they are expensive,
Hey.
the brand new Sharons.
Nothing wrong with Wangaratta, my friend Bobby J.
That's why you're looking to move to Albury.
No comment.
Hope you're enjoying the first term thanks to A-grade oils and batteries. Lavington with their noses in front, a 5-point buffer over the reigning premiers. Damon's in the ruck. Nice little 1-2 tap work with Murray as the Rovers go inside 50. Front and centre was Christie. He overran it. Cooper waited to collect. Went by hand trying to find Will Christie. Crunched in a Kai Davies tackle. Umpire put the whistle away. And that's great defensive work from the Lavington back six. They stand up and will ball it up 35 metres out from Rovers goal.
I reckon there's a jumper change. Someone's wearing 46 as Catapan kicks it out of the stoppage. No score to the Rovers, and it's a boundary throw-in. 5 metres around from the Rovers goal, kicking to the town end, or the renamed
I reckon
Steve.
Sorry, Pound. I was going to say, I reckon it's Newton wearing 46.
Yep, he's definitely wearing 46, is Nick Newton. Normally wears number 1. So a few curlies thrown up here today by the Panthers, just keeping everybody guessing, including the Rovers and us, the broadcasters, here as well. And we have a secondary stoppage in attack for the Rovers. Renamed Steve Norman, and Christie grabs it out of the ruck, tried to get boot to ball. Costello at the bottom of the pack like he always is. And we'll have a third stoppage inside 50 for the Wangaratta Rovers. They trail by 5 points. The Panthers 6 to the Rovers, 1 behind.
Davies in the ruck, intercepted by Catapan, then on to Christie, and another stoppage will ball it up once again. So 7 minutes of a pass here, thanks to McDonald's. We're still in attack here. As Gaffney tries to get the footy on the boot, and now Lavington kick long via O'Brien, just trying to gain yardage. Shaganolan dropped it at the final moment, but he went by hand to O'Brien, who's on the trusty left boot. Up to the half-forward flank, showground side for the Rovers. And everyone's happy to see it across the chalk for a boundary throw-in. 55 metres out from Rovers goal. They trail 1 straight 6 to 1 behind, thanks to game traffic and contracting. As we go to Bobby J.
Structurally, both sides are very sound at the moment in regards to the stoppage ball setup, so this is going to be a good, clean passage of play to get through here.
Perryman, Clemson, all link up, and here's the running man, Costello. Shoveled it back to Clemson. Right foot for a left kick, finds Corby Robertson, who's gone full Slim Shady on the broadcast win. Kick wasn't all that great. Asked a lot of his man there in Darcy Smith, who has Shaganolan on him, as Wilson tackles Costello nastily over the boundary line. And we'll have it thrown in just forward to centre here for the Lavington Panthers, who have kicked the only goal in this O&M Live ball game. A lot of body contact early on Jack Costello. They've made it really known to get into the young kid, I reckon, who started the season on fire. Boundary throw in. Damon taps it down to Philo. Going in hard was Catapan, but Robertson went even harder. Glanville now off a step, sends Lavy forward. Brody Paul, iffy hand pass to a teammate. Philo gave it to his opposition number in O'Brien. Left foot kick to the top of the goal square. Jace McQuaid and Cook in a wrestle, and Quaid jams it on the boot and clears the lines out of defensive 50 for the Rovers.
Yeah, good contest there. Jack Driscoll, he throws it on the boot. Bit of a hit and hope. Murray went to slap it forward. Now Perryman head over the footy for the Panthers. Muzz is hot on his heels. Now Catapan tries to handball one backwards. It's in a big pack of players. Burrowing his way through his Catapan, but it's turned over inside 50 via Clemson. And a turnover has been marked here in the defensive pocket here by Paul, who's going to bring it out wide to the showground side for the Rovers. O'Brien, another 40 winks disposal, goes over the top to Alex McCarthy, who links up nicely once again. Wilson into the line-up today from a fishing trip in Darwin. He kicks long down the line to Stewie Booth. Gets a nice bounce, but the Lavington pressure from Bennett's hot on his heels. Jesse Hart wrapped up in a big tackle. I reckon the umpire was generous to say he got rid of that one legally. And it's a boundary throw in 40 metres out from Rovers goal. Bobby Jackson for Corowa Tiles and Better Electrical.
Just keep an eye on Sam Catterpin here, boys. He went in hard in the contest there across half-back for the Rovers, and he just came up grabbing the back of his neck, so I'm just keeping a close eye on Sam.
Yeah, it was the contest with Corby Robertson. Here is Caterpan going in again. Grabbed out the football, wanted a free kick, and Ryan clears defence for the Panthers. Comes to the broadcast wing. Murray split the pack, won a really good football. Del Zotto, his kick inside 50 was partially smothered by the Panthers, and will have it thrown back in 60 around from Rovers goal.
Around the grounds, Evolution Roofing. It's a shootout at the John Ford Oval. 3-2, 20 to 3 straight. The Roos over the Pigeons.
David Wink, 40 winks.
We're even in the clearances here, 3 apiece and then 4 inside 50s apiece for both sides. Really good contest here early.
Damon just allowed to grab it out of the ruck and fake a hand pass and kick off a step to the top of the goal square. Christie and Cooper. Cooper's wrapped up by Jesse Hart. 2 big bulls going at it there. I love to see it. Cooper did he throw a little one to Jesse Hart's throat there? Not really sure. Bit argy-bargy. We'll have a ball up. Top of the goal square. Rovers trail by 5 on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard. 11 played.
Top of the goal square. Charlie Thompson at the bottom of the pack. So's Bennett. For Lavington will ball it up once again. I know we don't take time inside 50 as a stat live in the ground, but I reckon if you'd have a look at it, the majority of today's game has been played inside 50 for the Rovers, and they're yet to kick a major. 11.5 gone for Maccas. Christie won the ruck contest. Lavington have numbers. Billy Glanville a 40 winks disposal, and Bennett for the Panthers just wants to kick long down the line. My man, Shawnee Driz in the fantasy team. He's got a big job today. Not just for the Panthers, but also my fantasy team. I need a score of 120 plus, please, Shawnee. He goes over the top. Clemson marks here for the Panthers. On the left boot, wants to attack the corridor. Allison almost got there, but big Jack Driscoll, he marked on the defensive side of the centre circle. Umpire calls him to play on, so he kicks laterally out to the showground side. Nice work there as they come inboard. Lavington, ball's in the hands of Billy Glanville. Right foot kick, inside forward 50. Out in the lead is Darcy Smith. You won't miss him in pink wheels. Lowers the eyes, centres the ball to Nick Newton. Really nice football there from Lavington. Methodical build-up will result in a set shot. 40 metres out from Nick Newton.
Nick Newton just snuck on the ground from the interchange bench, boys, and snuck down the backside without anyone seeing him, and he's popped up in that forward 50 unmanned, and now he's having a shot on goal. And this corresponding game last year, Darcy Smith lit it up with 3 or 4 goals as a small forward, and played a really pivotal role, and it could be the same role expected from him today.
There's a few different numbers out there too, boys. There's a number 10 for Lavington. I'll find that one out.
So on the right boot, Nick Newton, normally a nice kick of the footy. That's no exception. Straight through the big sticks. It's back-to-back goals from the Panthers, and they lead by 11 points thanks to game traffic and contracting.
Billy Glanville started this one on fire, boys. He's up to 6 stats on the 40-wing stat sheet. Has really been driving the ball inside forward 52. He's resulted in 2 goals from his plays up the ground.
I think you'll find that's Charlie Douglas, who's wearing the number 10. A brain fart, you call that, Bobby J from Panda?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Bobby, for the support.
No breeze to speak of,
No,
Bobby?
none whatsoever. Maybe a Zephyr, but none. Less than a Zephyr.
Inside 50s, Winky on the 40 winks.
4 to the Wang Rovers, and Lavington lead with 5, so pretty even on that stat sheet.
So 2 straight, the Panthers to the Rovers, 1 behind for game traffic and contracting. We've played 13 minutes opening term. A-grade oars and batteries, and there's a free kick out of the middle here. That has to be 50. Yep, Bobby J.
Yep. I think it was a ruck infringement, so the advantage of play was not for the Rovers, it was more so for Lavington, so therefore the 50-metre penalty. Oh, my Lord. Oh, no, they've got it right.
And Sam Murray has kicked the ball a long way away, hence the 50 metres. Disappointing from the coach, who should know better. And I reckon this will be a free kick to Jack Driscoll. Oh, no, it'll be Kai Davies, so he was taking that ruck contest, and he will line up from 40 metres out directly in front.
He got the leg from here, Panda.
Absolutely.
He's a booming kick.
He kicked a big one on the run last week from 50, did Kai Davies. So this for the dream start for Lavington. Comes in, he's hooked it big time. I reckon it's almost hit the cricket sheds out to the left, and it's through for a minor score. Lavington 2-1. Lead the Rovers 1 behind for game traffic and contracting. We've played 14 minutes for Macca's. David Wink.
The Wang Rovers guys look like they're really going after the Lavington youngsters physically here, boys.
From fullback, it's Xavier Allison kicking, trying to find Cooper. Well done from Bennett. Geez, put together some first quarter. He's with a shadow of a doubt. He'll be in the quarter's best thanks to Aubrey Vital Air.
A high free kick that was against Cooper on Jack Glanville, Gussie.
So Jack Glanville, impressive. in his first couple games for the Panthers. Inside 50, beautiful kick. Second bite of the cherry, big cookie. Aiden Cook, who's had a shocking run with injuries, broken legs and everything in the last 2 or 3 seasons. He's back playing senior footy, Bobby J, thanks to Corowa better tiles, and he'll have a set shot from 30 tight angle.
Lavington are really methodical with the football at the moment, and to go with that methodicalness, they're clean by foot as well. So this is really opening up the Rovers' defence here at the moment.
Tight angle will favour the right footer. He's 5 metres in from the boundary, goes the drop punt, and it's just to the near side for a minor score. So the first blemish for the Panthers, or the second I should say, 2-2-14 to the Rovers, 1 behind, thanks to Game, Traffic and Contracting. And for the Norvo, brace yourself, because Panda, Winky and I and Bobby, we're coming to the Norvo after tonight's game. Panda, we're going to roll in there this afternoon and maybe have a few frothies.
Absolutely. Sweating up here on the balcony, so a couple of cold ones will go down beautifully. Sam Murray able to just stroll out of defence and kick long down the wing, but to no one in particular. And Jesse Hart has taken his first intercept mark for the day. Winky had him for 5 or 6. He's averaging 6, Winky.
He's just taken his first, and he's up to 2 stats on the 40-wing stat sheet, young Jesse.
Here's Jack Costello, a workhorse. Defensive side of the square, goes short to Glanville. This is something Lavington have really worked on in 2025, their ball use. Bennett affects the switch, finds Patton. No better kicks in the comp than this guy, I reckon. He's got a lovely left leg. They're going to want to switch the football again. Here's Jack Costello on his own D50. He runs across goal and pops it out wide. And here they go again through Hart. On to Costello, racking up the 40 Winks disposals. By hand to Gaffney. He goes out even wider. And here is Billy Glanville in front of the scoreboard, trying to find Corby Robertson, but the ball hit the deck. Not
the best hairdo from Corby Robertson, if I'm going to put it nicely, Bobby J.
I'm not one to comment on hairdo, but one thing I can comment on is the work rate of the Lavington midfield and half-backers is phenomenal at the moment. They're super fit. Butts has got them flying at the moment.
So a ball the footy up on the showgrounds wing, trying to burrow through. Gaffney, handballs forward, trying to find Kai Davies. Overlapping run comes from Charlie Douglas up to half forward. Go the Panthers. They have numbers here. Well done Costello, well done McCarthy. He handballs forward, trying to find Justin Lewis, who left it behind. McCarthy on the end of it once again. Christie, delicate handball to Wilson. He was held. Free kick to the Rovers, and advantage has been paid. Christie, got to get rid of it quickly. Wants to go wire. A big handball to Sam Catapan. Open up the fat side of the ground. Catapan's got stoned. 70 from home. Lowers the eyes to Charlie Thompson in the pocket. And he'll go back and have a set shot. 45 metres out on a fairly tight angle. And that's the best they've looked going inside 50 today, the Wangaratta Rovers.
They certainly looked a bit better organised there behind the footy, and it's fair to say that at times they've looked a little bit flustered and a little bit put off their game in regards to the way that Lavington are possessing the ball and keeping the ball and moving the ball. So they just want to spend a bit of time with the footy in their hands, the Rovers, to get a bit of control back, a bit of tempo back into this game.
Has he got the leg from here, Pand?
Sure, I reckon he does, yep. He's a sharp shooter, this man.
So back on the eastern seaboard after dominating in the waffle, Charlie Thompson on the right boot. Distance didn't trouble him, the accuracy did immensely. It's just snuck through for a minor score. So the Rovers are off their game, but the Panthers are flying. It's 2 behinds to 2-2-14. Lavington lead the Rovers for Game, Traffic and Contracting. David Wink.
That's up 5 disposals for Charlie Thompson early. He's really got busy this first quarter, along with Sam Catapan, who's up to 6 for the Rovers.
Who's leading the stats for the Lavington Panthers?
Billy Glanville's had 8. He's absolutely dominated this first quarter. He's resulted in 2 goals that Lavington have kicked, but directly from his kicks inside 52.
Some of your best work, David Wink, for 40 Winks as Driscoll loads up down the wing. Christie just plants himself in the hole like a big ruckman and wins the ball back for the Rovers. Intercept marks are worth their weight in gold. Kicks off for Stamp Thompson. Takes the mark in front of Shawnee Driscoll. O'Brien, 2 kicks from home. Left foot kick to the top of the goal square. Cooper in a wrestle against Hart. Can Lockie McCartney get a foot to it? No. Runs in the McPhail's fence behind the goals, and it's through for a minor score. So the Rovers are peppering the inside 50s, but not getting any advantage on the scoreboard. Another behind. They go to 3. The Panthers 2-2-14 for Game, Traffic and Contract at the 19th minute mark here in this opening term for Maccas.
Around the grounds, Ray White Rule netball update. Corowa have defeated Yarrawonga 43-32, and Lavington with a big win 72-41 in the A-grade netball. 72 from the Panthers.
I wonder, Christina Yaguchi back, Gussie?
Maybe. Poor kick in from fullback's going to result in a boundary throw in here. In attack for the Rovers. They're 40 metres out from goal.
When was the last time the Rovers were held goalless in a quarter?
On the spot, I'm not sure. Why don't you? We've got a blood rule here, Bobby J. I reckon Kai Davies is coming.
Davies. He's coming off with a little bit of claret coming from, it looks like a snout.
The old blood nose.
Yeah, the blood nose. Just one thing I want to touch on, Winks, is the Rovers are getting plenty of inside 50, but is it the quality of inside 50 that they need to be concerned about?
Well, both sides have had 6 inside 50s so far, Bob, but Lavington's managed to take 3 marks inside their 50s. Rovers have only had the 2. So, it doesn't sound like a big difference, but the deep inside 50s for the Rovers aren't really happening. They're getting those shallow entries, which you really want to put the ball to the top of the goal square.
Bennett and Hart are also stepping up for Lavington's back 6. That's a crucial part as well. Damon, he took it out of the ruck, and he's going to have to find someone to give it to, one of whom was Murray. Murray burst away and looked to find an option. He went backwards and he found Allison. So Allison's going to kick into attack here for the Rovers. Into the pocket, poor kick. The leading lane of McCartney come. He couldn't quite get there. Catapan sees it across the boundary line. For yet another stoppage inside attacking 50 for the Rovers, and they trail 3 behind to Lavington 2-2-14. 21 minutes gone here thanks to Maccas on OMFNL Live.
They've spread out this stoppage here at Rovers, so expect some pace through the drop of the ball here.
Goal scorers Newton and Swinnerton for the Panthers. Shallow throw in. Cook having to do a bit of ruck work, and there's a whistle here. I reckon it's going to be a free kick to the Rovers. It might go the way of either Damon or Catapan, Bobby J.
The old ruck raffle, boys, the old big man bingo. Ed Damon's got the free kick here for a bit of a shove in the back. I think it was just a result of the shallow throw-in, if I'm going to be polite.
He did read the shallow throw-in better than what Aiden Cook, the part-time ruckman, did. And he will line up for the Rovers first of the day at the 21st minute mark of this opening term for A-grade oils and batteries. So the trail currently by 11 points. Of course, the Did Simpson medalist in 2024 pops it straight through the middle. He can kick a footy for a big guy, Ed Damon, and the Rovers get there first. They move to 1-3-9 to the Panthers 2-2-14 for game traffic and contracting as Mario does some of his best work. We've got a couple of beautiful prawn
Enjoy
cocktails.
the rest of the call, boys. I'll see you later.
We've got mini dim sims. Oh, you'd pay to be up here, Bobby J.
Yeah, okay, right.
Don't put him there, Gus. Charlie Lugg's got his eyes on him through the gap there. Keep your hands off him, Luggy.
Just off the back of that stoppage, that was another poor entry inside 50 with the ball not hitting a target and not obviously causing a stoppage that will result in the free kick. But that's got to be a concern for Muzz at quarter time. Well,
7 inside 50s for only the 1 goal, Bob, so not great conversion rate for the Rovers.
14 plays 9. Lavington over the Rovers here on O&M Live. Hope you're enjoying the call on 2AY and Edge FM. Bone-crunching tackle into Perryman. Saw Lockie O'Brien break away from the contest. His handball missed Murray. Now Lavington, they get their hands on the footy and kick to half forward. Well done, Ledger. Got a nice fist. Brody Philo mops up the crumbs as Paul kicks out to the showground side wing. And the mark's been taken by Wilson. Umpire calls him to play on, so he wants to find McCarthy. He got him on a half volley, right foot kick up towards half forward. Too much for Cooper. It allowed Gaffney to mop up the crumbs. Down the line went Douglas. Nice looking ball to find Perryman. And Perryman's got it across half back for the Panthers.
His numbers, David Wink?
Not taking their Perrymans today, Panda.
Okay. Interesting. The RFL star.
He has been good early, though. You guys have called his name a lot.
Glanville goes down the line. Darcy Smith got 2 hands to it, but dropped the cherry at the last minute. Clemson went one-handed, and the Rovers swoop. Thompson got pushed in the back, able to get a hand pass out to Nolan at half-back. Left foot, Chisler down the line. Murray with one arm just fends off Perryman and takes the mark on centre wing. Aggressive kick inboard for Murray, finds Lockie O'Brien. Defensive side of the centre circle, pops it over the running man, Philo. He goes out wide and finds Booth. Just too far out to score. He's got Dylan Stone on the lead, decides not to use him. Damon leads straight down the height a little. He says, bugger you both. I'm going to the top of the goal square. Damon, Cooper. A Mawson's concrete play and mark of the day for the Wangaratta Rovers, and Big Coops will line up directly in front, 10 metres out.
Yeah, young Jesse Hart and Alex Bennett just got a little bit mixed up there, a little bit caught in traffic, I suppose, and that gave big Nathan Cooper a clear run at the ball and an uncontested mark in the end. But swift ball moving across the stadium from the coach in front of the scoreboard, and a nice long 50-metre pass to O'Brien, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know it, you've got Nathan Cooper on a one-on-one, I suppose, in a perfect scenario for him in the top of the goal square, as we talked about, deep entries into the 50.
So he's kicked 8 goals for the year, 4 last week, Nathan Cooper. Pops it straight through the middle. And the Rovers all of a sudden have a 1-point advantage. 2-3-15 to the Panthers 2-2-14. Time on in this opening term. We've played 25 minutes for Maccas.
Winky, what did you think on that? A clear set play, I reckon, from Stewie Booth to wait for the smalls to lead out of the hole for the Wangaratta Rovers to allow a clean path for Cooper and Damon to fly at the footy.
Well, movement creates space, Gussie, so with those smalls moving around inside 50, just open that hole directly in for Damon and Cooper, and big Nathan Cooper take a great mark at the top of the goal square and went back and converted.
That's the blueprint. Kick it to Cooper and let him go after it.
Have you had one of those spring rolls yet, Gussie?
Not yet, but quarter time couldn't come any quicker. Murray switches out the showground side and he finds O'Brien. Didn't quite have the right accuracy, but O'Brien's quick to mop it up on the left. Beautiful ball to half forward. Cooper on the half volley. Left it for Catapan, who got legged. Umpire said nothing in it. And he's going to blow the whistle now for a stoppage. Bobby J, boundary side, thanks to Coro better.
Yeah, just another example of the ball not getting, on a target's chest going in forward 50. So I'll back up what I've been saying, that the ball going inside 50 is a concern.
So tied up against the boundary. Thompson's left foot kick to the top of the goal square. Looking for Cooper, but Patton mops up in defence for the Panthers. Right foot exiting kick. Looking for Glanville. Got out the back, won the footy, but his hand passes to space. Rovers all there with numbers. Going in hard there was Nolan. Even harder was Paul. Finds the left foot of O'Brien. Is this a better entry inside 50 for the Rovers? Or getting up high was McCartney. Not able to mark. Dives on the football. Now he's got a problem. Jesse Hart wraps him up. We have a stoppage 30 metres out from Rovers goal. They lead by a point. 2-3-15 to the Panthers. 2-2-14. We played 26 minutes for Maccas. Opening term for A-grade oils and batteries.
Siren sounds for quarter time and Damon had a shot on goal. Didn't quite make the journey. And it was an enthralling first term. 2 goals apiece here on O&M Live. The Rovers with their noses in front. 2-3-15 to Lavington 2-2-14. That's on the game, traffic and contracting scoreboard. Stick with us on O&M Live, because on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The Athlete's Foot. Fit for every run.
An entertaining opening term here on O&M Live sees the Rovers with a 1-point advantage over the Panthers. 2-3-15 to the Panthers, 2-2-14. We're going to really quickly go to Bobby Jackson before we get our quarters best, thanks to Vital Air, David Wink, because I think he's got one of the Rovers coaching staff with him on the boundary.
Yeah, boys, I've got Kyle Braden down here. Mate, I'll just quickly ask a question off air. The forward 50 entries, you had plenty of them. It was nice to get some reward late in that quarter for it.
It was. The connection early on probably wasn't there, but we've got the game essentially how we want to be playing it, which is front half footy. They're, as I said to you, they love playing in chaos, so they can slingshot on you pretty quickly. So we've just got to be disciplined with how we enter.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for your time.
Bob Jackson down on the boundary, one of the best in the business. Kyle Raven for the Wangaratta Rovers. David Wink for Vital Air, Aubrey Vital Air, now in Wangaratta, helping you breathe easier day and night. Who caught your eye in the opening term?
Sam Murray, Sam Catapan and Charlie Thompson all dominating through the midfield for Wang Rovers. Sam Murray and Catapan both have 7 early touches, while Charlie Thompson had 8 touches in that shot on goal. For Lavington, Billy Glanville's up to the 9 disposals. Jesse Hard with the 3, Jack Caselli with the 4. Young Alex Swinington only had the 1 disposal in that quarter.
But it was a goal.
It was a goal, and a very important one early on in the game, but they're really going after those young guns that we've spoken about all through the week, aren't they, the Wang Rovers?
They are. That's one thing I noticed was the physicality at the contest, and especially after some of those young Lavy boys. As Bobby J is just circling like a great white shark, I reckon he's going to go straight up to Matty Pendergast.
I've got Matty Pendergast right here, mate. How are you, Pender?
Hey, Robert.
Mate, what was the message here from Snides?
Just keep competing. We're right in the game. It's where we wanted to be. Keep taking the game on. Obviously, they're going to have their run. They're a quality team, but we're proud of our boys' first quarter, and they'll keep digging in. This is a big quarter in the game, I reckon.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Best in the business, Bobby Jackson, getting all the access from some of the great coaches in the Ovens and Murray and big names around the grounds for
Evolution
Roofing, Gus McLeod.
The second quarter has just got underway at the John Ford Oval, and Coro have kicked an early behind via Jed Longmire. The score is 4-5-29 to 4-2-26. The Roos are leading Yarrawonga in that game. 2 goals to Darcy Hope, singles to Caelan Bradkey and Jaden Butson. Whilst for Yarra, 3 goals to Matt Casey and 1 to Cam Wilson against his former side.
Some of your best work there, Gus McLeod. Not quite the amount of goals here at the WJ Finlay. 4 in the opening term, but still an entertaining contest. Winky, how many inside 50s ended up in that opening term for each side, please?
So Wang Rovers had 10 inside 50s compared to Lavington's 6, but I don't reckon Lavington got the ball past halfway in that last 7 or 8 minutes.
For J.K. Albridonga, here's Panda Escott with the second term on O&M Live.
Blake Panda Escott and Gus McLeod with you for the Northo Hotel. We'll be pumping straight there after this one. Gaffney got boot to ball. He's kicked though, intercepted by Brodie Paul, who's worked his way into this senior lineup. Murray looked to go to the pocket, kicked it straight in front of goal. Cooper dropped what he probably should have marked in the end, did all the hard work. Newton threw Costello under the bus, hand passed it out of traffic, and then the Rovers swoop, I should say, and we'll have a ball up 45 metres out directly in front of their goal. That kick from Murray was a beauty. Right into the leaning lane of Nathan Cooper. Davies, little clearing kick's going to come straight back. Stone onto Philo. Left-hand hand pass was intercepted by Smith. His quick kick forward is a high up and under. One-on-one there between Ledger and also Charlie Sanson. Running in waves here, the Panthers. Swinnerton, socket off the ground was Driscoll. They want to play this chaos brand. Kicks it to the top of the goal square off the ground, but Jace McQuaid defending hard. Swinnerton goes in even harder here for the Panthers. Allison will want the boundary line. He finds it at the end. A boundary throw in, deep in attack for the Lavington Panthers. They got it there pretty messily, Bobby Jackson, but they have a stoppage inside 50.
Well, straight away we've seen the talk at quarter time by both sides, where Rovers' first entry is nice and direct at the top of the square by the coach, and then all of a sudden the chaos ball moving forward is dangerous. It's there's so much quickness on the ground for Lavington when the ball hits the ground.
Murray overran the football. It allowed Newton to come through. Darcy Smith sharing in hand for the Panthers. He's dangerous in front of goal. Can't give that man too much space inside 50. Darcy Smith kicks his first, and Lavington have 3-2-20 to 2-3-15 on the C&V Truck and Bus scoreboard.
We've seen him do the exact same thing here in the corresponding game last year, boys, with some real quality finish, and that was off the top shelf there. That was it spun out of a contested area and hit it sweetly. The sound that came off those bright pink boots was sweet as it comes, and straight through the middle. He's a dangerous forward, and the Lavington support staff mentioned that at the start of the game.
He adds a lot to this forward line. I think he plays A-grade cricket at Lavington, so wouldn't miss a lot of the pre-season. But if they can get him firing along with these other smalls...
Training not one of Darcy's strengths, I've been told.
Misses the pre-season. His pre-season's in the nets. As Perryman with a clearance to half forward. Swinnerton in a real bit of strife there. Good tackle from Joel Smith, and he wins a free kick. Half back for the Rovers. Short kick's really ordinary. Makes Catapan work. Fires it out to Allison. Ball on the wing in front of the grandstand. Gives it back to Catapan. Allison. Catapan's inside-out kick. Bypasses all comers at half forward. Christie in a bit of trouble. Hand passes straight over the boundary line. Gaffney wrapped him up in a tackle. And we'll have it tossed back into play. 2 kicks from home favouring the Rovers. They trail by 5 points. 2-3-15 to Lavington. 3-2-20 for C&V Truck and Bus. We played 3 minutes for Macca's second term.
Blake Panterescott and Gus McLeod with you. All thanks to the Northo on O&M Live as Damon won the tap. Charlie Thompson fed it to Catapan, who goes on the boot inside forward 50. Nice defensive work from Jesse Hart. Got a crucial fist and brought it front and centre. Now the Smalls need to lift. Head over the football was Costello. I reckon he was held. Umpire put the whistle away as McCartney dribbles one to the top of the square for the Rovers, but it's across the face for a minor score. So 2-4, place 3-2 here thanks to C&V Truck and Bus. The 3.5 minute mark, Bobby J.
Yeah, this chaos football's just playing with Rovers' cleanliness with the football a little bit. So Lavington are sort of starting to get things a little bit on their terms, I suppose you could say, with the chaos footy that they're playing.
Good handball on the ground from Brodie Paul. Catapan was taken high by Nick Newton in a new number today, 46. Not sure about it. Doesn't suit him in the slightest. Catapan is going to send the Rovers back into attack with a big high up and under looking for Cooper. Christie got the front posse. Fist was a double fister in the end from Hart. We have a stoppage in attack for the Rovers.
How many for Catapan on the 40 winks, Winky?
Catapan's up to the 11 already. He's had 4 in this quarter to start.
Did you just call him freaky?
Almost. Thompson roving beautifully. Snap on goal is out of bounds on the full. Bobby. And we'll have it. Panthers free kick. That was dangerous there from Thompson in attack. And we'll have it a Panthers free kick. Who lead by 4 points. 3-2-20 to the Rovers, 2-4-16. You've been called worse things in life than Brad Freak, haven't you, David Wink?
I could have called him Vicaro.
Plenty of worse things. I've been called worse things than Vicaro as well.
So Lavington have Sharon in hands. Tied up in the D50 with Jesse Hart. He's Panthers man. He lowers the eyes. Nice ball. Finds its way to Patton. It was a beautiful left foot kick, but he doesn't have many options presenting at the moment. Tied up in the back pocket in front of the netball courts here at the WJ Finlay. Opts for distance to go long down the line. Damon read it beautifully. The big ruckman flying across the pack to slingshot the Rovers back into attack. 45-degree angle looking for Christie. He flew high, didn't quite bring the ball to front and level. McCartney left it behind. Gaffney, nice work in the D50 back pocket for Lavington. Switches out wide. Not going to be the best looking kick after that nice build-up. He couldn't quite hit Shawnee Driscoll. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in. 40 metres out from Rovers goal on the showground side.
David Winks, who's getting some hands on the footy in the second quarter?
Sam Catapan's, like I said earlier, has had 4, but the Wangaratta are really peppering the Lavington back 6 here with 4 early inside 50s.
Davies won that tap. Catapan on cue, wrapped up at a big Costello tackle, holding the ball. And a free kick to the Panthers inside their own D50. How many for Jack, please, Winky?
This will be number 6 for the young gun.
Coming off a 30 disposal game against Myrtleford and 31 first week against the Dogs. He's going to mosey out of defence here. Beautiful chiselling kick. Finds Pat Ryan right on the arc of the defensive 50. Called to play on. His kick was partially smothered. That was great work by Justin Lewis. Booth grabs the footy on the wing, plays on. Thompson left the football behind. Patton Glanville, beautiful little hand pass over his head. Ryan dropped the footy. Hand pass at 10 metres forward. Smith tackled straight away by Paul. It was a big unit. Edge of the square, ball up.
There's a fine line between playing the style of footy they're playing at the moment and taking the sting out of the game for a little bit of period because they've been under the pump, as Winksy said. They've had the ball in their side 50 since the start of the quarter. They just need to take a little bit of a sting out of the game, a little bit of tempo out of the game for mine.
Damon to Catapan, then on to Stone, looking for Wilson, tied up on the boundary line. He goes on the non-preferred, the left, trying to find Cooper. He was held by Bennett. Umpire put the whistle away. Lavington arrive in numbers. They handball over the top, trying to find Patton. Now Darcy Smith. Nolan got him. He lost the footy, and that's holding the ball. Mawson's concrete play that A from Shagger. Relentless defensive pressure as the left footer throws it on the boot, looking to find Murray. Out the back, Christie. Misread the lot of them. McCartney. Crumbs opportunistically. Open goal square. Bang! Steal on goal that A from Lockie McCartney. All set up by the brilliant defensive work from Shagger Nolan.
Yeah, not the best entry inside 50 that the Rovers were looking for, but the ball's lived down there this whole quarter, and they've got to get reward for their effort inside that forward 50, and that come from a scrappy ball that popped out the back for Lockie McCartney, and he was Johnny on the spot and nice and clean with his finish. So I think they want to get more bang for their buck going inside 50, Rovers.
5 inside 50s to the Wang Rovers early in this quarter. I think we've only been going for 8 minutes, so that damn wall that the Lavington back 6 was putting up was going to break eventually.
A wonderful tackle there from Shag and Olin. Did go on with it just a little bit, and
who's
Smith
playing
was
full forward, Bobby? Can you just let me know?
Holding his head. So we'll have to watch that one. Damon comes out with the clearance to Del Zotto. Got a bit of work to do. Good body work from Caleb Clenson. Just pushed Del Zotto off the footy. Snap around the corner, trickles to half forward. Driscoll's got wheels. This is Sean. Sorry, Jack, I'm not talking about you. Tied up against the boundary. Sean to the top of the goal square. That is some Mawson's concrete play that aim kick from Sean Driscoll. And Ed Perryman will line up 45 metres out directly in front. How about the vision?
That's a Tim Broomhead type sort of kick. That was he had no right to hit that from where he was on the field, and that was a fantastic kick from Driscoll. And gives a dead set straight in front, set shot at goal. And the bloke playing at full forward for the Rovers is Sam Murray.
Ed Perryman kicked 40 goals in the RFL last year, so he knows how to kick them. Comes in directly in front, makes no mistake, and the Panthers grab back the lead. All thanks to some wonderful play from Sean Driscoll. He had the wheels, he had the vision, and Perryman finished it off, David Wink.
That's right, Panda. The one inside 50 to Lavington, but they made it count. They've taken 4 marks inside 50, and 3 of those have resulted in goals. Their vision going inside 50 is really good, and the options are they've just got a lot of space that the leading options can move into.
There's been high praise for their back 6 all season by Snide, so it's warranted at the moment. You know, they're keeping the reigning premiers to 3 goals under immense pressure. It'd be 90% ball inside that back 50, so they're earning every rap that they're getting the back 6 for Lavington.
4-point lead to the visitors, 4-2-26 to 3-4-22. On the CMV truck and bus. 10 minutes gone here in the second term for Jayco Albury-Wodonga. Plenty of Jaycos on the Hume this weekend.
Jumping a Jayco.
We'll do whatever you want in a Jayco, Panda. We'll bring it up at the top of the centre circle.
Get your mind out of the gutter, please, Gus.
Oh, you can play board games. You can cook a nice meal.
You can play Fortnite. You can do what you like.
Do whatever you want. Jump in a Jayco and hit the road. Go and see the team at Jayco Albury-Wodonga. Travel stop way in Lavington. As Charlie Thompson kicks the Rovers inside forward 50. Bit of a weird one there from Christie. He just sort of dive out of the way. On hands and knees, working hard here as McCartney left it behind. Douglas come through. He's been legged.
Yep.
Free kick to Lavington. Charlie Douglas will get it. The boy from Osborne has got the ball in the back pocket for Lavington. Out to the showground side wing. Nice looking ball. Finds its way to Corby Robertson. Corby comes inboard. Poor kick. Turned over by Nolan. Read it nicely. Edge of the centre square. Showground side. Wants to throw it on the left and get an inside 50, looking to find a big collision. Christie out the back, opportunity now. Head over the football. I thought it was McCartney, but it's Schulte who's wearing number 32 for the Rovers, and we'll have a stoppage deep in the pocket here for Wangaratta Rovers.
Big collision, Bobby J. Christie just got up, but we still have, I think it's Kai Davies down for the Panthers.
Corby Robinson just went recklessly back. No thought of anyone's safety, even his own, in that bit of friendly fire. But he's a tough nut, Kai Davies. He'll be right.
Yeah, he's sucking in the big ones. Says, Jack, you can do the ruck work. Here's Thompson roving beautifully with a banana, kicking a steel line goal today. Roved a beautiful stoppage in the pocket, ran onto the football. Banana on the run. He is a star, Charlie Thompson, and the Rovers have the lead by 2 points.
We mentioned that in the first quarter that the Wang Rovers, they love to have space in their forward 50 clearance stoppage work and hit the contest at pace. And there's your perfect example with the ball just getting dropped into the spot where Thompson hit it at speed, and the finish was clinical off the outside of the right foot. And the Rovers, they've had majority of the play, and they probably deserve to be in front. But the back six for Lavington have done a marvellous job, and you just wonder how much more pressure they can handle.
14 disposals and a goal for Charlie Thompson already in this quarter, coming off 37 last week. He's absolutely dominating at the moment.
Lucky you got him back in your fantasy,
Absolutely.
Winky.
Some nice 40 winks there from David Dawson. Ruck infringement here. It's going to go the way to Big Jack Driscoll for Lavington. Bobby J?
Yeah, no.
He's got to point which way quicker.
I agree. Driscoll to centre half forward, trying to find Sean, his namesake. Front and centre was McCarthy. Incorrect disposal, umpire let it go. O'Brien on the right, beautiful kick. Inside 50. Gee, that's nice footy to find Swinnerton. A Mawson's concrete player today. And Lavington will have a set shot, 35 metres out, slide angle with young Swinno.
They've got some real speed to burn through that midfield when they actually get the footy 4 to 50, Lavington, and that was real dangerous. O'Brien's finish was perfect in the space and had forced Winner to mark that easily on his chest. That was fantastic play.
Doesn't need too many touches, O'Brien, Gussie, but they're worth their weight in gold.
Here's Swinnerton to the Evans Street end. 35 metres out, slightest of angles. Young Swinno steps up and he's put it across the face for a minor score. 4-3-27 the Panthers to the Rovers 4-4-28 on the C&V Truck and Bus.
1 point ball game here at the WJ Finlay. Second term for Jaco Aubrey-Onga, who played 13 minutes for Maccas. Xavier Allison with the kick-in duties. Fakes to go towards the grandstand where we are. Goes to the showground side where Shag and Olin was.
Evolution Roofing around the grounds. 2 point lead to Yarrawonga over the Roos.
39-37. A shootout at the John Ford Oval and a really good game. We've got two beauties here on Anzac Day Saturday. Charlie Ledger pops a hand pass over the top to Allison. Likewise to McCarthy. He goes by hand to Stone. Ball on the wing, far side. He retreats back to Allison, who hand pass missed Philo. And here come the Panthers. Swooping was Cook. Swings around on the right boot. Kick to the top of the goal square. Murray, like a good coach, getting back and winning the ball defensively for the Rovers. And then kicks it out on the full. A shank from Sam Murray down to the pressure of Sean Driscoll. And the Panthers have a free kick 40 metres out, tied up against the boundary.
Their energy is unbelievable, Lavington. They just seem to be going. Their fitness levels is very, very impressive here.
So it's Jake O'Brien who's going to have the opportunity to kick a miraculous goal here.
Surely not.
Or will he pass it off? He'll kick from 50 in front of the Sullivan Light Tower. Dougie Greshke will bring you this beautiful picture on OMFNL Print Solutions TV. I reckon he's going to have a shot here, Jake O'Brien. Looks pretty good. It's across the face. Going to land in the goal square. Driscoll got two hands to it. Ball still in play now. It's not. Minor score. And scores a level. 4-4 apiece for C&V Truck and Bus at the 14th minute mark for Macca's. Gus McLeod for the Northo Hotel.
Bobby J, Kai Davies has spent an awful long time on the bench considering he'd come off in the first term with the blood rule.
No, he's been back out and about, mate. He's been.
He got crunched over there before, Gus.
I know, but he's spent that much time on the pine. I'd like to see him get a bit more injected into the game.
He's sucking in the big one still from that big contest over there with Christie, I reckon.
Catapan has got Sharon in hand. Another 40 winks disposal. How many's that, David?
That'll be 15 now for Sam.
At the 15-minute mark of the second term, he's putting on some performance. Well done, Jesse Hart. Made an impact at the contest. Gaffney trying to paddle it to his advantage, but the boundary line beat him to it, out of bounds for a boundary throw. In front of Bobby J for Corowa Tiles and Better Electrical.
Just having a close look at they've spent a lot of energy trying to get some points on the ball, Rovers, and let's look a little bit, a couple of them look a little bit cooked here at the moment.
We'll get some stats soon from the best in the business, Winky. He owns the 40 wink stat sheet. It's in his name. Here's Murray. Not able to get an effective hand pass. Philo did, though. McCarthy, here they go. Wrapping around the back was O'Brien. On the right this time, into attack Christie. Early body work. Gets out the back, and Annette has a bit of work to do. Schulte trails him towards goal. And Annette safely punches it over the line for a minor score, and the Rovers regain the lead. 4-5-29 to Lavington. 4-4-28 for C&V Truck and Bus. Here's David Wink.
8 inside 50s for the Wang Rovers, and I think they kicked the one goal. They really want to take their chances when they get and have shots on goal. They're not even getting shots. They're just kicking the ball long.
So long down the showground side wing go the Panthers. Shawnee Drews flew high, bring it front and square there. That was Smith for the Rovers. Tied up on the boundary line. Both sides have numbers at the contest. Sean Driscoll goes backwards to Billy Glanville.
Good kick.
On the right boot, he finds Darcy Smith. Attacking side of half forward. Poor handball from Darcy Smith. Turned over by the Rovers. Nolan on the edge of the centre square. Left foot kick was smothered. Gets another chance and kicks down the line. He hugs the centre square. And Brody followed and said, hey boys, no chaos. Let's take a bit of time here. Off the Macca's time clock, which reads 17 minutes gone in the second term. And he'll go long down the line like Brody Follow always does. Looking to find Murray, who's resting forward. McCartney is appealing for kicking in danger. Umpire let it go. Mark on the wing. Inboard kick to Aidan Cook, come via Glanville. Top of the centre square is where they want to go, but the Rovers have numbers. Tied up with a lot of work to do. Over the top was Ledger, and he found O'Brien.
Kick was poor from the Panthers going forward. O'Brien's kick is a beauty. Look at that on the lead. Schulte just went to slide on the ground too early and didn't grab the chest mark. Booth wins it back though. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Cooper not able to mark the ball. A big fist and out of play from Alex Bennett, who's played a game, Bobby, on Big Coops.
Certainly has. I think Gus hit the nail on the head there where Brody had the ball. I think they just need to take the sting out of the game because they're falling into Lavington's hands here at the moment by the pace that they want to play at. Just take a little bit of a sting out of the game and control the footy for a little bit and see and shift the defence a little bit from side to side and see how that goes.
29 plays 28. The Rovers with a slight advantage for C&V Truck and Bus. 19 minutes played for Macca's. Here's Charlie Thompson, already kicked a goal in this quarter. Sits it up to the top of the goal square. Cooper, arms all over him, not able to mark. Bennett did really well, and we'll have a ball up right in front of Rovers' goal at the 18th minute mark, I should say, for Macca's. Here's Gus McLeod for the Northo Hotel.
1 point lead to the Rovers on the C&V Truck and Bus. Ruck raffle, umpire let it go. Billy Glanville bombs it down the line looking for distance. Damon called to play on, lowered the eyes nicely, and he found Wilson 45 metres out directly in front of him. This will test Dylan for distance.
You there, Bobby?
Yes, mate. Sorry, I was just watching the Lavington bench. There's a bit of movement here. I'm actually keeping an eye on Kai Davis. He has been off for a little bit to back up Gus's statement early doors, but yeah, better ball movement then, better control. They just need the experienced players to step up a little bit more here for the Rovers.
The Rovers looking for back-to-back goals. Dylan Wilson back in the side, booming right foot kick. That's got the legs and the accuracy. I won't question you again, Dylan. That was sensational through the big sticks. Back-to-back goals for the Rovers, and they extend the margin to 7 points for C&V Truck and Bus.
Classy finish by the little fella there, and particularly with the ball going in the way it is. Yeah, the tall Timbers not getting good access to the ball in regards to the aerial contest. So the little fellas down forward need to make the most of every opportunity they get and hit the scoreboard. So they've had 90% of the possession inside their forward 50 this quarter, and they need to get some bang for buck before the quarter's out.
They've had 10 inside 50s, the Wang Rovers, compared to Lavington's 2, so they're really taking control of this match at the moment.
7-point advantage now to the way of the Rovers, who have kicked the last two here on O&M Live. Second term for Jaco Aubrey-Onger, and another clearance from Charlie Thompson. Left foot kick, bounces inside 50. Christie, like a good ruckman, taps it down to Wilson. Left foot kick into the pocket. Cooper allowed it to bounce and then got a Shane Warne leg break. Patton has grabbed without the football from Schulte. Had to be a free kick. In the end, the umpire lets it go and it'll be thrown back into play. In a dangerous position for the Wangaratta Rovers, who hold a 7-point advantage. They love another one here at the 20th minute mark for Macca's, and get a mini break on the Panthers, who have been really brave. A few soldiers down and a few laid outs. Perryman spun out of the contest. Hand pass went towards the boundary line. Costello been a little bit quiet. Onto Perryman, still by hand. Douglas's kick was touched. Damon had no idea about it. Runs over the boundary line. Just forward to centre for the Wangaratta Rovers, and we'll have it thrown back into play. David Wink, 40 Winks.
Billy Glanville had the 9 disposals in the first quarter. It's only up to the 3. Young Jack Costello as well. He's only had the 7 touches this game compared to the first 2 weeks where he's been on fire.
Boundary throw in front of our broadcast side. Swinnerton went underground. Nice pick up at the back of the stoppage there by Douglas. In fact, I should say that was Pat Ryan. Socket off the ground inside 50. Wilson, okay. Nice bit of work here from Christie.
Oh.
Can he find the boot? Will Christie snapping, missing. Would have been a steal line goal of the year from Big Will. Just couldn't quite put the finishing touches on that one, Bobby J.
The big ruckman, I was feeling a big stuff you come my way if you had to kick that one, but the big fella did me a favour and just put it through behind. But that was another poor entry inside 50, boys. I'm like a broken record. They'll be really frustrated with this Ring Rovers at the halftime.
You might have been watching the Anzac Day game yesterday with Josh Murphy. That would have been some finish from Will Christie, showing how athletic he is for a big boy. Patton allowed to mosey out of the goal square. We identified that on the podcast during the week. Kicked it towards the wing. McCartney got one high. In fact, it's McCarthy. Corby Robertson has had his arm over his shoulder. McCarthy has moved into defence this year. Goes short, still outside 50. Dill Wilson is going to load up and kick it inside out. Mongrel barrel floater. And that's a really good mark. They're tough to take, and Jack Driscoll does that in defence for the Panthers, but he's called to play on. Ran off his line. The Panthers just hand pass it straight over the boundary line. He's deliberate every day of the week. He just hand passed it straight over, said, this isn't my problem. And the umpire says, well, I'm not playing deliberate. And a boundary throw in deep into attack for the Rovers. They lead by 8, 36-28 for CMV Truck and Bus. 22 played for Maccas.
Lavington really need to hold on here.
That's got to be deliberate.
On the eve of half-time. Pinballs around. Lavington do well. They're going to exit defensive 50. Long raking kick from Costello. But it's been chopped out in the centre square. Alex McCarthy playing defence in 2025. He kicks out wide, showground side. Not his best kick. Thompson can make it look a little bit better. He doesn't. Nick Newton at centre half back. Big moment here in the magnitude of the game. Throw free kick.
Not leg.
A leg. It's going to be a free kick here to Douglas.
It was a throw or a leg, Gussie.
I reckon he threw it before he got legs, so make of that what you will. Out wide go Lavington. And ball's in the hands. It looks like it's O'Brien. Across half back. For the Panthers, who wants to take a bit of sting out of this game, he's going to kick long down the line in front of the scoreboard here. Flying high, McQuaid had every bit of it, just dropped it at the crucial moment. Handball over the top, went to Ledger. He opts to bomb it. Long down the line to a one-on-one. Out the back, the Rovers have numbers. Thompson throws it on the boot. Out of bounds on the full. He was tackled as he went to kick. And Lavington will regain possession between centre wing and half back. 36 plays 28. It's the Rovers over the Panthers on the CMV Truck and Bus. And we've played 24 minutes in the second term thanks to Jake Aubrey-Wodonga.
Scrappy. Towards I'm a mini dim sim, spring roll man. Either way, we've got a boundary throw in. Still around 55 around from the Rovers goal. They've kicked the last two. 36-28 for CMV Truck and Bus. Driscoll and Damon doing the ruck work. Damon smooth at ground level, shovels it back to Murray. Swings around the corner, tumbling KO ball inside 50. Cooper comes out and meets it with presence and nails a point. He did all the hard work there, Nathan Cooper. He swung around from 40, fired on goal, and it through for a minor score. The Rovers extend the margin by a point, 37-28. It's a 9-point advantage. Macca's time clock reads 25, Gus McLeod.
David Wink, what are you noticing on the 40-wing stat sheet?
Again, the Wang Rovers are just pumping the ball inside 50 for no reward at the moment. They're up to 13 for the quarter and 23 for the match, compared to Lavington's 9 for the match.
9 for the match. They've scored 8 times.
Patton at full back. He's a beautiful-looking kick, Panda. Now Lavington, kick long down the broadcast the showground side wing, I should say. Nice work there from Costello. His handball was dispossessed. The Rovers 4 or 5 on raffle it inside 50. Cooper, nice battle with a net, brought it front and centre. Had his head taken off a net. Umpire saw it that way too. It's going to be against Schulte. And a free kick here for Lavington deep in the back pocket. They're going to try and open up the switch here. Dangerous. Jesse Hart, short one to Douglas. Over the top, nicely well worked. In front of the netball courts, it's Kai Davies. He's going to switch back to fullback once again. Clearly trying to absorb some time off the clock here. Jesse Hart switches back to the showground side for Lavington.
It's Perryman. He's kicked one goal. He goes, stuff this switch. I'm going straight down the middle. Finds Glanville. Billy, how many, David Wink, for 40 Winks?
This will be 12 for Billy by the looks of it.
Goes back out wide to Perryman. So they're edged in their own defensive half here. It's a good press, Bobby Jackson, for Corowa Tiles from the Rovers.
Very well set up structurally, Rovers, and they always have been. And Lavington are finding it very hard to get through. And the only ways they've got it through is through the chaos footy that they've been trying to play. And this is not a bad result for Lavington to slow the pace down because they've absorbed so much here.
Costello on to Glanville, and his kick is turned over in the middle of the ground. Here come the Rovers through Murray.
Murray, defensive side of the centre square, finds Philo. Are we taking his, David?
We are. This is number 7 for Brody, so quiet by his standards.
That's on the non-preferred if you're watching on Snap Print Solutions. That's how good this man is, Brody Philo. He found Will Christie, 55 from home. Kicks from a standing start. Ugly looking entry. Free kick. Which way is it going to go?
We don't know yet.
To Jesse Hart, because he has the footy in hand. That's the only reason why I can tell you. And he's going to call it back. Bobby J for Corowa Better and Corowa Tiles. What was the free kick for?
I think it was a push out in the contest from what I'm guessing, and it's only a guess, but another poor entry inside 50. You know, this has got to be huge frustration for the coaching staff of the Wang Rovers at halftime.
Christie and Damon weren't on the same page whatsoever. Swinnerton mopped up, sold a bit of candy, handballed over the top. Okay with Ryan. Now Billy Glanville goes back in board. O'Brien pirouette, spins twice, handball was poor. Here come the Rovers. Nice defensive pressure from O'Brien on the left boot into the pocket. McCartney wants to find her option because he's tied up on the boundary line. But the Lavington back 6 respond, and it's going to be a set shot on goal from Lockie McCartney, 30 metres out, tight angle.
That's probably their first classy or clean entry inside 50 all quarter. And Winksky, you back me up with that. Back me up with that, could you please?
16 inside 50s, Bob. This is only the Wang Rovers' second mark for the quarter.
So Lockie McCartney, he's shaping up as if he's going to go the drop punt. I reckon he's going to break out to the banana or kick a drop punt. High up and under. Umpire says it's a minor score. I think it missed the near side. Went very high in the air. 5-8-38 to 4-4-28. 10-point lead to the Rovers over the Panthers in the second term for Jaco Aubrey-Wodonga.
Not far away from half time because Adam Schneider's come out of the coach's box. I hope the view's nice up there. So deep into the time one of the second term for Jaco. As the Panthers have to retrieve the footy through Patton. Like the look of this kid, Winky.
Yeah, he's a star, mate. Beautiful kick of the foot in. He pings that one down the wing.
He certainly does. Big pack of players. McQuaid got both hands to it. As the siren sounds to end a pretty scrappy second term, I must say. Doesn't matter if you're a Rovers fan because they lead by 10 points. 5-8-38 to the Panthers, 4-4-28. Stay with us here on O&M Live, our halftime show on the other side of this. We've got a netball wrap coming your way from a Corowa win over Yarrawonga in the A-grade netball, all thanks to Ray Wabononga. It's O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Everybody get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The Athlete's Foot. Fit for every run.
Welcome back to O&M Live Halftime Show, all thanks to Macca's here on 2AY, Edge FM and O&M Snap Print Solutions TV. My name is Blake Penderescott. Alongside me for our halftime show is Bobby Jackson and David Dawson-Wink, and it's a 10-point advantage to the way of the Rovers, 5-8-38 to the Lavington Panthers, 4-4-28. We might quickly throw to David Wink for our Albury Vital Air quarters best in the second term. Now in Wangaratta, Albury Vital Air, helping you breathe easier day and night. Who caught your eye in the second term, Winky?
For the Wang Rovers, Charlie Thompson was unbelievable there. 9 touches and a goal. He's up to 17 disposals for the game. Really dominating through the clearance aspect of the game, getting on top of that Lavington midfield. And for Lavington, Billy Glanville started that quarter really slowly, but finished with the 7 disposals. So he had a bit of a strong impact towards the back end, towards half time.
I think Ed Perryman has probably been Lavy's best for mine.
Yeah,
I think we're not doing his stats, and we'll probably get a little bit of feedback about that, Winky. But he's been outstanding. A lot of raps for Ed coming in. Probably almost should have won the RFL League medal in a lot of people's eyes. He kicked 40 goals and was the prime midfielder in that competition. But he's probably been Lavington's best for mine, Bobby J.
Yeah, and warranted as well. He's very classy. Every time he gets the footy, he's very classy, and he's probably a player that Lavington would like the football in his hands a little bit more often.
The other one who's been good is Alex Bennett down back. I think he's come across a number of times and just got a big fist in, and he's created a lot of play from the defensive end for Lavington as well.
Well, both Bennett and Hart, they're starting to combine really well, and that Cooper and Chrissy aren't getting the freedom that they would like down that forward 50. Albeit the quality of entries and the stats sort of suggest that they've been under the pump with 26 inside 50s. So there's been a fair bit of football down there for them to repel, and those two big boys have done a fantastic job. We've sung the praises of Jesse Hart for a good 12 months now, off the back of his coming out game here last year in the corresponding game. So, that's a fantastic contest to watch down the back there. But a concern for mine, and I've been harping on it for that quarter, is that the quality of forward 50 entries needs to be addressed, I think, from the Wangaratta side of things.
Who's lining up the 40-wing stat sheet, Winky, in that first half?
So besides Charlie Thompson, Sam Catapans had 13 touches for the game. He's started this season really strongly and just continued that today. I think they really work well together. I think Sam Catapans in and under tough nugget midfielder, and then Charlie Thompson's that explosive pace away from the contest. So those two complement each other really well. Sam Murray's had 11 disposals. He's played a little bit more forward than we probably have seen recently, but he's still had an impact on this game. Xavier Allison has had 8 from the back end for the Rovers, and Brody Follow with a 7. For Lavington, young Jack Costello's up to 10. He got moving there in that second quarter with 6 disposals. Jesse Hart, who we were just talking about, had 9. He had a big quarter there with 6, so started off slowly, Jesse, but worked his way into that one nicely. Billy Glanville, who I mentioned, has 16. Young Alex Swinington is one that they'd really love to get into the game. He's had 4 disposals, but he has had the 2 shots on goal. So he's probably someone that might get 15 touches for the game. But if he can kick in 2 or 3 goals, it really changes the momentum. They'd love the ball in his hand a little bit more, because it probably means they're having shots on goal. And then Sean Driscoll's had 7 touches. Has been lively across half forward when the ball's been down there.
He certainly has, and that squaring ball to Ed Perryman, where they kicked that goal from limited entries, Bobby, was just classy from Shawnee Driscoll. And Team of the Year last year is probably Lavington's most damaging player.
Well, that's exactly right. One of my notes here is that Lavington have got to find a way through the defensive structures that Rovers have set up, and that means either switching lanes quickly or changing angles quickly, and that's something Snide said in his interview after the game last week against Milford. They're backing themselves to change angles and work the ball through the lanes and catch the opposition out, because every team's got their defensive setups behind the ball. They've just got to find a way through it, and at the moment the chaos football and the out of control football that they've got going at the moment just doesn't seem to be working, and what it's doing is just getting repelled straight back into that forward defensive 50 for Lavington. So they need to find a way through and have different gears. That's just 100 miles an hour, like breakneck speed that when they've got the football in their hand at the moment. So they may just need to find some tempo football at various stages to get themselves set up and maybe find a way through the Rovers defensive setup. So and on the flip side, Rovers probably need to be a bit calmer with the football when they're going forward. I think they're getting sucked into that rampant chaos type of football that Lavington have brought to the table. So they need to be a bit more mature when they get the football and get some clean entries into their forward 50 and get some some better opportunities and better looks at goal in front of goal.
4 outs for Lavington as well, so they're playing with 4 players that weren't selected in their starting 22. So John Ospina, their co-captain, we believe he might have a calf issue, so you're probably looking at a couple of weeks there. Tommy Hargrave was really sore last week. He was a laid-out Winky. Tim Ulsterhoff has cast on his hand, so he looks like he'll miss a couple of weeks with, we suspect, a broken hand. And Drew Bevan was a laid-out as well. So Corby Robertson, Darcy Smith, Aiden Cook, and another player in Lockie Gaffney, who I think's done his role beautifully,
yes.
Have all come into the lineup. So the fact that they're still within touching distance of the Wangaratta Rovers will be pleasing Adam Schneider, Winky.
Yeah, I think Darcy Smith has played a couple of really big moments as well and played his role as well. So, you get thrown these things as a coach, and you want to snap the whiteboard in half sometimes. But when guys come in and play the role, and they're not doing anything to then. They're not expected to come in and get 40 touches and change the game. But Lockie Gaffney, especially in that back end, took the ball on and just took the game on. And like you were talking about, Bobby, changed the lane coming out of the defensive 50 for Lavy. And that's what they really need to do. And I think if they can do that a few more times and take a leaf out of his book, they can probably get on top of this one.
Well, they go inside 59 times and they've had 8 shots at goal. So they just got to keep providing more opportunities. The more opportunities they get the ball inside 50, the chances are, and the stats say, that they're going to score it in one way, shape or form. So they just got to keep working hard, finding a way through and get inside that forward 50. And the stats say that they're going to score.
around the grounds for Evolution Roofing. It is a beauty over the John Ford Oval. A shootout, 8-7-55. Corruglen lead Yarrawonga 8-4-52. The big boys are having a field day. Matty Casey's kicked 5 in a half for Yarrawonga, while for Corruglen, Darcy Hope's kicked 2, Callan Bradkey's kicked 2, Jed Longmire, Darcy Melksham, Elijah Amory and Jaden Butson. So we'll keep you updated with that one as well. It's a 3-point lead to Corruglen over Yarrawonga in the only other Saturday fixture in the Ovens and Murray. 3 games yesterday. It was a big win by 69 points over the Albury Tigers for North Albury. They won 120-51. Also yesterday, Wodonga 13-7-85 over the Raiders 8-14-62. And Wangaratta suffered their first loss of the season, 8-13-61 to Myrtleford 9-11-65. We'll take this chance now to go to Tamara Matthews and Ree Harris, who were at the John Ford Oval for the top of the table undefeated A-grade netball clash between Corruglen and Yarrawonga. It's our netball update for Ray White-Wodonga. Here's what happened today.
This is the netball wrap thanks to Ray White-Wodonga. As we see the conclusion of round 3, today's broadcast game was the Roos, the successes over Yarrawonga, 43-32, a score that probably doesn't reflect the most of the game. The Pigeons getting it back to a 2-goal margin early in the stages of the fourth quarter, but the Roos just getting a few turnovers and converting those. Sophie Hanrahan was deemed player of the day, but well supported defensively by her whole team, and Sally Hunter with Lou Madden notching the most of their goals, and Gabe McRae providing a really great link through the centre court. In other games this weekend, North Albury proved too strong for Albury yesterday in that Anzac Day clash, 66-40. Myrtleford beating Wangaratta 44-40. The Raiders, the successes over Wodonga in the derby, 52-46. And in the other game today, 72, the Panthers, a very, very comprehensive game over the Rovers, 41. A great round 3 here in the Ovens and Murray A-grade netball competition, which sees a fantastic show for next week's broadcast game between the Lavington Panthers and the North Albury Hoppers. This is the netball wrap, thanks to Ray White-Wodonga.
Fridge broken down? Urgently need a new...
Thanks, Amos.
No worries.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
Led by their co-captain today, well, their filling captain, Sean Driscoll. We've got a big half in front of them, the Panthers. They've probably been comprehensively beaten in some of the key stats, Winky, but they're only 10 points down on the scoreboard, and that's the main stat to look out for, 38-28. Can the Panthers pull off an upset undermanned against the Rovers?
Oh, look, I don't think the Panthers would be happy with how they've played it all here. So the fact that they're only 10 points behind is a real positive, I feel. And if they can click and just get their hands on the footy a little bit more in that midfield battle, I think they might rattle the cage here.
They certainly might do. So 38-28, half-time done and dusted. All thanks to Maccas here on 2AY and Edge FM. Both sides out on the ground are all players who played in the first half out there, Bobby J?
Yeah, it looks as though they are, fellas. And I just had a run into Tommy Hargrave at half-time there, and he sort of suggested that, you know, the Panthers aren't playing the style of footy that they want. They just need to chill a little bit and take a little bit of sting out of the game and control the football a little bit more. So, yeah, him being a player that should be playing, he's a little bit frustrated he couldn't be out there. He's got a little bit of a cork that he just couldn't get over the line with. And just watching the Rovers, highly unusual that they're doing ball skills sort of thing at the half-time break. I'm not sure if that's a normal done thing. So that's maybe that's an indication that they're not happy with their ball handling at this present time in the game. So that's an area that needs to be sharpened up. So I dare say they probably would have had a chat about that at half-time. But yeah, full bill of health both sides. Big Kaiser Davies, he's out there. He's put his head a couple of places where he probably regret putting it, but he's back out there looking ready to roll again. And the both sides are ready to roll.
Big Jono Spina, this boundary side, demolishing one of the great Schnitty rolls.
I saw that. I knew it was a Schnitty roll because he actually opened the bun.
Yeah.
And you could see the Schnitty right in there between the rolls.
He's doing a demolition job on it.
And you two can talk some garbage.
That's a big bite from Spoons too.
Welcome to the industry, David.
Any gravy on that there, was there?
No, you have to offer gravy on a schnitzel roll. This is one venue that doesn't, but I can't say anything too bad because I did just get a text message from one of the great co-presidents in the industry. That is Wally Pasquale. He asked how the hospitality was up there. Well, the hospitality is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. We've had some spring rolls, dim sims, some sandwiches, cokes. It has been splendid. They are one of the best in the business, the Rovers.
I won't name names, but at the half-time break, one of our favourites from the Rovers did walk over with 4 cans of Carlton Dry, and I said, I'm going to have to say no to them. It's a tad early, but come and see us at 4:30.
Was that Paul Squires?
No, it was Mario.
Oh, dear.
And he goes, come on, mate, it's only radio. No one's going to see you.
Yeah. We all got heads for radio, so you're probably onto something, Mario.
He's a good man. We thank the Rovers for their hospitality. Of course, looking forward to this second half here, gents. I'm not sure if you mentioned it at the halftime show, but Muzz dragged everyone in the centre circle before they went into the rooms and gave them a real strong talking to.
He didn't look happy, did he, Angus? He really gave it to him out there in the middle of the ground.
Well observed, David.
He certainly did. I got a can of Coke that's got champ written on mine.
Well, that's what you are.
You got a champ too, Gussie?
No, I got champion.
I've got True Blue.
There you go.
Massive third term coming your way here, thanks to Jayco, Albury-Wodonga, and Albury-Wodonga MG. Rovers kicking to the Evans Street end. The Panthers to the Bar Reserve ends. Sharon's aloft. Siren sounded the third term with Blake Pender-Escott.
So Driscoll and Damon resume hostilities. Glanville's hand pass was smart because Perryman was able to trap it and bang the Panthers into attack. Darcy Smith just overran the football. Here's an early chance for the Panthers. He applies a big, strong tackle on Shaganolan over the boundary line, and it'll be thrown back in. Good early pressure from the Panthers deep into their attack. Quick entry from Perryman. Liked his game today. The first and last time he won't do his stats, Winky. I'm going to assure you that right now.
He has played a good game, Blake.
38-28, early stages, third term for Albury-Wodonga MG. Damon half grabs it out of the ruck, taps it down to Murray. Quick exiting kick. He's going to come straight back. Costello first there for the Panthers. Taps it to himself, then lost his footing. Catapan shovels it out to O'Brien, and the Rovers are away down the far showgrounds wing.
O'Brien, uncharacteristic grubber along the turf. Allowed big Jack Driscoll to collect and kick a long right foot kick down the wing. Numbers, clever work from Cook, just slapped it into space, and I think he's going to be... Is it a
throw?
Penalised the throw, Bobby. A little bit unfair.
Yeah, a little bit of scoopage towards that.
I like that description. Scoopage from Bobby J, thanks to Coral Better. Murray across half back. Oh, great pressure from Lavington. Darcy Smith's intercepted, and he had to pass the ball. He had options. He waits, switches the ball. Wasn't the best kick off the boot.
Doesn't matter.
And the mark has been taken inside forward 50. Darcy Smith might have gotten away with one there, and it's going to be that man, Ed Perryman, who Panda spoke about, to have a set shot or not. Handball to the run of Patton. Left foot kick, hit the stick. Jeez, he had to carry a booming left boot.
Couple of
times. A minor score.
So, Gus, a couple of times today, Sam Murray's been pulled off balance, I suppose, coming out of D50, looking for some options outside the Rovers D50. So he's a little bit frustrated with the options coming out outside 50.
So a minor score on the Peterborough home scoreboard. Margin back at 9, 29-38. Rovers lead. Davies, his hand pass was intercepted by O'Brien, and he's off to the races. He's got grass in front of him. Cooper leads probably a little bit too early. O'Brien's taken 3 bounces, kicks towards the top of the goal square. It was a real ordinary kick. It's a second poor entry from Lockie O'Brien.
I've got a theory, boys. Is this footy off? Is the footy flat? Is the footy out of shape? Because
you have some strange theories, Bobby J.
No, I'm with you, Bobby. I always reckon the yellow ones aren't done properly.
Well, it's a red one, Gus.
Yeah, well, they come with the same factory.
Maybe you're colourblind.
Well,
but just, there's been a couple of times here where some of the best kicks in the competition are just struggling to get the ball spinning right. It's just a flat mung sort of thing going inside 50. Lockie O'Brien had no pressure there, and it was just a sort of kick. And I'm just trying to find excuses or reasons for these boys' disposals today.
Who needs a sound effect, Mike, when you have Bobby Jackson doing it for you on the boundary for Cora Tiles and Cora Better Electrical? We have a ball up, another stoppage inside 50 here for the Rovers, who lead by 9 points. 3 minutes played for Macca's third term for Albury-Wodonga MG. Going in hard there and getting tackled straight away was Bennett by McCartney. And we'll go again inside 50 for the Rovers.
3.5 gone thanks to Macca's. Only score of this third term was a minor one to Patton. Inside 50 are the Rovers. You can hear the jungle drums being played beneath us. There's Philo, wants to find the left. Brody Philo tied up in the pocket. Just snuck it in for a minor score. Looked okay off the boot from Brad. He's hit the stick. So 39 plays 29, back to a 10-point ball game. It's the Rovers over Lavington, thanks to Peter Bowen-Holmes.
So Nick Patton with the kick-in duties. He has to go short. Kick poor. Glanville bounced in front of him. Couldn't keep it in play, and a boundary throw-in. Just outside attack for the Rovers. He wants to go long at every opportunity, Patton out of defence, and the Rovers were manning the mark. They're right onto that exit from the defensive goal square. So once again, Driscoll and Damon doing battle in the ruck. Perryman on hands and knees. Glanville likewise, and we'll have a ball up as Damon jumps on Billy Boy. Like an around the grounds update if we can, Gussie, for Evolution Roofing. It's a shootout at the John Ford Oval.
Yeah, it certainly is. As Play HQ updates, 10-minute mark sees Corowa 55, Yarrawonga 59.
And Matt Casey had kicked 5 goals in that game to half-time. Here come the Panthers. Swinnerton on the far wing, pops it over the top to Smith. It's a high up and under. Not a great looking kick. Cook caught behind, not able to mark. Joel Smith wins it back for the Rovers. Good kick, right bang smack in the WJ Finlay, just defensive side of the centre circle.
Wilson wants to kick out to the showground side to Nolan, who marks. Tied up on the boundary. Not many options present long down the line. He's looking and darting his eyes inboard. He's Shagger. Umpire calls him to play on now, and he goes with the left boot down the line, turnover. Lavington have numbers, one of whom is Glanville.
It's a brave mark.
And he chomps out and he comes in board to Swinnerton. His numbers on the 40-wing stat sheet, Winky.
This will be number 6 for Alex, but he's had 2 early disposals this quarter, Gus.
Inboard, poor kick. Got a bit of work to do here. He's Ryan. He left it behind. The Rovers regather the football. Booth onto Stone. Backwards to Sam Murray on the point of the centre square.
Oh.
Murray, 2 turnovers from his last 2 kicks. How uncharacteristic. Sanson lowers the eyes. Nice looking ball. Lavington want to play a run and gun brand of footy. Patton on the left boot, inside 50. Nice looking kick, top of the square. Defensive work from the Rovers is going to need to be good. Cook crumbs and Cook goals. Fumbly when it mattered most, the Rovers, and Aidan Cook swarmed on the footy. Snapped it through the big sticks, and the first major of the third term goes to the Panthers.
Rovers won't be happy with the start they've had in this third quarter. They've come out sloppy. They've come out haven't made too many changes. The effort's there, but just the execution's really poor, and Lavington are making them pay. Yeah, every opportunity they get. Their efficiency going forward is very good here at Lavington, and Rovers, they need to sharpen things up here, otherwise they're in for a real arm wrestle today.
Yeah, they've had the 3 inside 50s for those 2 scores, Bob, but the pressure from Lavington at the moment is what's been turning the ball over and allowing them to rebound the ball back inside.
Evolution Roofing around the grounds in the Duns Twin City Cranes. TDFL half-time sees Yakandan to 7-6-48 to Barnawatha 4 straight 24.
So the drop mark from Smith proved costly in the end because Cookie was there to crumb. And here's Newton out of the centre clearance. Big pack. Smith got 2 hands to it. In the front, been paid a mark, I think, to Charlie Sanson. So he was the only one that put the Dukes up, and he's come down with the mark, and he will line up for 2 in a row for the Panthers.
Yeah, young Charlie just stood his ground at the front of the pack, and everyone else seemed to fall around him, and he just, as good tall blokes do, keep their feet and take the mark. And there's worrying signs here for the Rovers. The well-documented Lavington Football Club's fitness regime this off-season, they quoted as being the fittest they've ever been, and they'd want to be careful here, Rovers, otherwise the Lavy Panthers might just sneak him here.
The jungle drums are beating below from the kids below us, and Charlie Sanson hasn't had much of the footy today, but he usually does this part of the game well. It's a minor score. And the margin back to 3 points. 5-6-36 Lavington to the Rovers 5-9-39 on the Petermont home scoreboard. We've played 7 minutes for Maccas. What are you noticing, Winky, for 40 Winks?
Well, early in this quarter, it's just the complete opposite of what's been happening in the second, with Lavington peppering the inside 50s instead of the Wangaratta Rovers. They're up to 4 already.
Allison wants to go down the showground side wing. Nice looking kick to the lead of Christie, who takes a bounce, plays on. Gets to the defensive part of the centre square, kicking to Cooper, who's worked his way up the ground. Cooper wants to find a runner. Handball was poor. Wilson mopped up, made it look better than what it was, but his kick was poor. O'Brien gets a nice half volley, retreats back to Philo, but Lavington now have numbers behind the ball. On the left, Philo, that part of his game's been average today. As he kicks up to half forward, Schulte was wrapped up in a tackle. Lavington survive a scare and will ball it up between centre wing and half forward. So almost 9 minutes gone here for Maccas. The Rovers are their own worst enemy at the moment. Uncharacteristic, repetitive mistakes. Catapan lost it at the coal face. Damon tried to fling a handball out. Umpire said it's a free kick.
Ball it up.
Oh, he's going to call it or ball it up.
Right.
So the players broke away before the umpire had a chance to blow the whistle. Give that one to Driscoll on the ruck on the second bite of the cherry. Newton dispossessed. Catapan head over the football. He's wrapped up in a tackle, tries to bring it back in, now feeding it out to O'Brien. Damon throws it on the boot, not his best kick. Top of the arc here, Rovers have the ball via McCarthy. Inside forward 50, bit of a pirouette there from Del Zotto. Now McCartney once again. Gee, the pressure from Lavington's good. Have numbers everywhere. Allison tried to apply a tackle. Brodie Paul goes backwards to McCarthy. Nice looking ball to Dill Wilson. He's got an option in the pocket. He needs to use it. Goes there now, and Thompson marks 45 metres out. 45-degree angle.
Yeah, just a little bit of methodical thoughts process there by Wilson. So just a little bit more that needs to creep into the game for Rovers. They're a little bit thrown off their axis at the moment with the pressure that Lavington are providing. So they need to get the ball into Allison's hands, Philo's hands, Catapan's hands, a couple of the experienced campaigners that can control the tempo, control the intensity that's going on at the game at the moment.
I'd love to see Alex McCarthy go to half forward. I think it's a part of the ground that's not being executed well enough for the Rovers. Here's Thompson, much needed goal for the Rovers. It's going to go across the face. Does it have the legs? It doesn't. On the goal line, seen across by Chris Annette for a minor score. 40 plays 36. The Rovers have their noses in front for Peter Bowen Holmes in a pretty scrappy third term so far, thanks to Albury Wodonga MG.
Both Pender Escott with you and Gus McLeod, all thanks to the Northo Hotel, which is where we will be heading straight after this, I can assure you of that. David Wink dominating on the 40 Wink stat sheet as Driscoll tried to mark the kick in and he dropped his lollies at the last minute on the arc of the 50, and we'll have a boundary throw-in still in the forward half for the Rovers.
Evolution roofing around the grounds. Yarrawonga with 3 quick goals to start the third term. They lead by 20 points.
Throw in Christie, silver service down to Thompson. Roving beautifully, wasn't able to grab the footy. Allison reefed down and a big strong tackle by a couple of Panthers, one of whom was Corby Robertson. We'll have a ball up just outside the arc. Still favouring the Rovers. How many inside 50s, Winky, in this third term?
4 to Lavington and 3 for the Rovers now, but yet to score.
Murray just burrows his way through. Kicks it in quickly. Cooper playing in front. Arms all over him. And the big gorilla marks it on his chest, and he will line up for his second directly in front.
I think there's been a few times today, lads, that we've sort of said that the dangerous spot needs to be the space in front of Cooper, and just prove our point there in just then with the ball. Dirty footy coming forward, but there was space for Cooper to work his strength, which is his strength, and take a nice chest mark in front of Jesse Hart.
Hart was a little bit slow to get up as well, just sucking in the big ones, walking back to the defensive line. Cooper comes in and he shanks it. Oh dear. Usually his bread and butter in 2025. That's his second behind. He's kicked 1 goal, 2, and letting the Panthers off the hook. Margin sits at 5. 5 goals, 11, 41 to the Panthers, 5-6, 36 on the Peter Bowen Holmes scoreboard. Still in the first half of the third quarter, we've played 12 minutes for Maccas.
At fullback, O'Brien. Bullet-like pass, found Costello. His numbers for 40 Winks, Winky.
This will be number 11 for Jack.
Normally pretty good user. Not many options present, so he opts to go long down the line. Cook opted to fly and stayed at ground level. Got taken high by Damon. Umpire let it go. O'Brien now on to Sean Driscoll. Has a few options. Kicks to the deepest, one of whom is Darcy Smith. The overlapping run is on if he wants to use it. He doesn't, so he wants to come back inboard. Darcy Smith, mongrel-looking kick, and it's a poor entry. Brodie Paul intercepts for the Rovers at centre-half back. Switches out to the pocket. Poor foot skills by the Wangaratta Rovers. On the last line of defence is McCarthy. Poor handball. Really poor display and execution of skills by hand and foot early stages here. And hopefully it's a trend that doesn't continue, Winky.
That play there by Darcy Smith to try and wheel around and try and kick to the top of the 50. He had 2 blokes running to an open goal square. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there.
5-point lead to the Rovers. Ugly, scrappy affair to start the third term. Costello, did he get one high? Umpire said yes. That's what you do when you win the footy at the cold face. You get looked after, and Costello will line up to regain the lead for the Panthers. 25 metres out slide angle.
There's a real sort of stink here, boys, with the way the Rovers are going about their footy. They need to sharpen things up. There's a lot of hands on hips, a lot of pointing going on, and as that last passage of play that Gus called, there's a lot of sloppiness and sort of almost careless disposals.
They've only kicked the 3 behinds in this third quarter. Have the Rovers. Costello comes in and lets the Rovers off the hook. No one can buy a goal at the minute. Margin back at 4 points. 41 plays 37 for Peter Bowen Holmes at the 14th minute mark for Macca's third term for Albury Wodonga MG.
I'd love to see the Rovers switch McCartney and Alex McCarthy, of course. Both have swapped positions this year, half back and half forward. Free kick against Murray here for a push in the back. He's fuming.
Oh, no.
Murray's fuming about it, and he's given away a 50. And I can't call it a coach killer because the coach gave it away. Lavington going to have a shot on goal. I think it's going to be O'Brien, it is, and he's going to shoot from a relatively small 50-metre penalty, but nonetheless he'll kick from 25 metres slide angle, Bob.
Yeah, the frustration might be compounding for Sammy Murray, and you just got to bite your tongue. Unfortunately, as a coach, you got a bit of leeway as far as that's concerned, but you just needed to bite his tongue.
He was frustrated, but didn't look like he carried on too much. Nonetheless, the umpire pinned him. Here's O'Brien. Can we get a snag now? We can. It's a steal line goal today from Jake O'Brien. Lavington have the only 2 goals of the third term, and they hit the front by 2 points to Peterborough Homes.
Rovers really need someone to stand up right now, and Xavier Allison's trying his hardest to get his hand on the footy at the most important times of the game, but he needs a hand. He needs someone else to come with him to control the tempo and control the frustration, I suppose, with the Rovers style of footy at the moment. So they need to stand up here, the premiers, otherwise they're going to be in a real arm wrestle for the rest of the day.
Lavington really putting the Wang Rovers defence under pressure with 6 inside 50 so far. No one really standing out on the 40-wing stat sheet, but that's a massive team stat.
43-41, Panthers back in front. We've had a number of lead changes today here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Sam Murray, look, he's like a dog on a bone trying to win the footy back, but the Panthers go back into attack. A big long one coming across the pack there was McQuaid. McCarthy back to Nolan. That is a strange kick out of defence. Clemson might be first one there for the Panthers. Ball evades him. Del Zotto under pressure. Hand pass to Murray. He coolly chips it out wide at half-back. Here's a bit of run and gun for the Rovers. Stone onto Catapan, who gives it back to Stone, who keeps on running. Takes a bounce down the far wing. Left foot kicks a good one. Schulte not able to mark. Great defensive effort from Gaffney. The late inclusion. He forces a stoppage just outside attack for the Rovers, and we'll have a ball up, tied up against the boundary. 2-point lead to the Panthers for Peterborough Homes. Here's Gus McLeod for the Northo Hotel.
Another turnover at half forward for the Rovers once again. It's a part of the game that is not going their way. Trying to get the ball inside 50 was Stone. Head over the football, Schulte. Lavington's back 6 refusing to give in. Stone looking to come in board, dispossessed. Annette opts to go long down the line. Charlie Sanson got there late. Didn't get it on the first bite of the cherry. Umpire calls to the footy and we'll ball it up, Winky.
Yeah, Sam Murray's up to the 5 disposals. But I reckon 3 of those have been turnovers. The pressure from Lavington on him when he's got the ball is unbelievable.
On the showground side, whistle infringement. Is it going to go the way of Costello?
Yep.
It is. So another free kick for young Jack, and he's going to want to switch the ball. Dangerous looking one. Patton's got some work to do here. It's balls bounced. Booth, great defensive pressure. He retreats to Bennett. Bennett has to make a good decision. Finds Kai Davies. Kai kicks a poor one off the boot. Working hard here is Jai Del Zotto. Big crunching tackle. Corby Robinson didn't get him with prior opportunity. Umpire says we'll ball it up. Much to the disgust of the Lavington supporters. But that's a good decision from the umpire. We'll ball it up in front of our broadcast position. 2-point lead to the Panthers. Panda on O&M Live.
The only 2 goals of this third term for Wangaratta MG going away to the teal and white. The Panthers tumble to half forward. Cooper to get one high. Umpire says no, and Annette reefs the footy away for the Panthers. Down the line, Driscoll. He's got a good leap on him, Sean, for a small fella. Goes inboard with a short 45. 75 out of the Panthers. Hand pass from Newton finds Clemson. Wants his left foot. Loads up from 50. Clemson never looked like going through. And it's through for a minor score, but they look quick when they move that football, the Panthers, and they break lines. The margin's out to 3. 44-41 for Peterborough Homes. The Panthers up at the 18th minute mark for Maccas. David Wink.
8 inside 50s here. We spoke about this during the week on both podcasts, but Lavington's way that when they take the ball through the middle of the ground, they're very hard to stop.
Ed Damon has the ball in the defensive back pocket here. He's going to want to kick long down the line. That's what he does. Broadcast side wing. Cooper was held. Absolutely man-held in the contest. He still brought it front and centre. Won the footy in the end. O'Brien fed it backwards to Catapan. Catapan onto O'Brien. On the right boot, high up and under. Looks to go long down the line. Good contest. Schulte and Gaffney. And Gaffney's won a free kick.
High.
Don't know if that one was there as he kicks the full back. He finds Costello at centre half back, I should say. Last line of defence. Wants to attack the corridor, the showground side. Ball's been marked here by Ryan. Inside forward 50 go the Panthers. The Rovers have numbers at the back. Lavington pick up cleanly. They want to come in board. Nice clever play there from Glanville. Wants to get his hands on the footy again, does young Jack, and he's given away a free kick in doing so. It's going to go the way of Dylan Stone. Free kick to the Wangaratta Rovers. Tell you what, Panda, I was looking smack bang at that pole for about 10 seconds trying to call the play.
You did well, Gussie. I can assure you of that. Left foot kick out to the far side from the Rovers. Costello dropped a mark, and here comes Wilson. Kicks it to the only contest inside 50. Davies up against Christie. Christie resting deep forward. Davies applies a strong tackle. Big Kai. And he's wrapped it up. But I tell you what, the intensity's lifting this one, Bobby J. Boundary side for Cora Tiles.
Certainly has. You can feel the urgency in both benches here, and the Lavington, they smell something cooking here at the moment. So the Lavington Panthers have got energy all over the ground and off the ground.
Christie sockers it off the deck. Cooper finds a hand pass. Catapan tackled straight away by Gaffney. Rovers want a free kick for a hole, but the umpire doesn't buy it. Glanville deep in defence, goes long down the line. Swinnerton, 2 hands to it, wasn't able to mark. Big Damon goes in at ground level, but Cook, was he legged? He was. That's the 3rd free kick for a leg today, going the way of the Panthers. It's a free kick right in front of the scoreboard, which reads 6-8-48 Lavington to the Rovers, 5-11-41 for Peter Bowen Holmes.
21 minutes gone here in the third term, only the 2 majors, so we should have a short one. Nolan tied up on the boundary line, opts to go via hand, dangerous ball. Nolan's got some work to do as he hugs the boundary with a left foot kick. And Damon, he's marked true centre wing showground side, plays on, kicks inboard, horrible kick. No one even remotely near the football for the Rovers as Lavington intercept and they kick down the line. Perryman has Sheridan in hand here for the Lavington Panthers. I would like his 40 winkies, but David forgot to put him on the sheet.
Divac wouldn't have.
Divac would have had someone else, though.
He would have had Josh Mathy.
Yeah, he would have had Josh Mathy. And Jack O'Sullivan, who's out for a month. Jesse Hart across half-back for the Panthers. He's a star, this kid. Comes inboard. Got some work to do. Does Clemson. Nice overlapping handball. Annette wasn't on the same page as Costello. Edge of the centre square. The Rovers arrive in numbers. Trying to burrow through and beat the tackle. It was Lockie O'Brien and will ball it up. Edge of the centre square. 22 minutes gone here thanks to Maccas. And Lavington have a 3-point lead for Peter Bowen Holmes.
Panda and Gus with you. All thanks to the Northo Hotel. Bobby Jackson's boundary side for Cora, Better Electrical, and Winky on the 40-wing stat sheet. And a free kick to O'Brien. Much to the cheers of the Rovers faithful.
Bronx cheers.
Yeah. Kick was a bit of a tower, though. Oh, right off the front half of the foot. And it's been intercepted by Ed Perryman. And the Panthers give it back to the Rovers supporters. This is country footy at its best. And we're right in the middle of it here on the balcony. O'Brien wins it back for the Rovers in the middle of the ground. Stone onto O'Brien, who kept on running. Great effort, top of the goal square. Christie! A Mawson's concrete play of the day for the Rovers. And Will Christie will line up for goal number 2 and to put the Rovers back in front and kick their first major of the third term.
Marks inside 50. Winky, I reckon that'll be one of the first for Rovers this quarter.
They've had 3 this quarter, but that was really good work from Will Christie. Just great body position. There's a bit of feel in him in this crowd here. There's not many here, but the crowd is very involved.
Yeah, the Rovers crowd are going back at the Panthers bench and likewise, and we are the meat in the sandwich. Christie pops it through. That's his second and the Rovers' first goal since the 19th minute mark of the second term. And they got the advantage by 3 points. 7-11 play, 6-8. Bobby Jackson, boundary side for Cora, Better Electrical.
Dare I say it, top of the square again. That seems to be the best spot for the Rovers to be hitting the scoreboard. So, you know, there's to get the ball in there as nice as quick as you can with a little bit height on it for blokes like Christie and Cooper to go about their business. There's a bit going on down there. Christie and Jesse Hart. A little bit of a to-do down there, just introducing themselves again.
Not rocket science, Bob. You get the ball to the hot spot and you score goals.
Not rocket science, Mixie. Not rocket science. It's football.
The turnover stats in this game are going to be a real eye-opener when they come out, probably by Wednesday. Brody Philo on the left, kicks up to half forward. Stone met nicely by Douglas. O'Brien tracks this one. His handball missed his fist.
In mid-air.
Should have been a free kick for a throw. And here come the Panthers. Nick Newton Bombs it to the top of the square for Lavington. Jace McQuaid with the ever-reliable fist, but it's crumbed by Corby. Here's Corby. Misses to the right-hand side for a minor score. He's a dangerous-looking footballer, and he's going to be a dangerous-looking man if you bump into him at Lavy Square after dark with that haircut. Corby Robertson here on O&M Live. Albury Wodonga MG bringing you the third quarter. It's a 2-point ball game. The Rovers over the Panthers.
Big hello to Travie Cartwright, one of the best cameramen in the business, watching on O&M Snap Print Solutions TV from one of your favourite parts of the world, Gus McLeod.
He's in Hoi An, Vietnam. That's where I do some of my best work.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm heading there later on in the year as well. Looking very much forward to it. Christy, looking forward to seeing what's in store for us in the back little moments of this third quarter and last quarter as well. We've played 25 minutes for Maccas, and Christy has had an important couple of minutes. The Rovers by 2 points. He pumps it long. Cooper forced a contest. O'Brien, he's lifted in this third quarter. Perryman, likewise. Tumbling kick has been marked by Christie. Oh, he got crunched from behind by Sanson. A good, brave mark. And Christie can just slow things down for the Wangaratta Rovers. He chips it backwards to Allison. They lead by 2 points for Peterborough Holmes.
Will Christie's been the quarter's best for Albury Vital Air for mine. Now in Wangaratta. As the kick goes to a 2-on-1. Not the smartest there from Clemson. He could have marked. Head over the football. Well done, Swinnerton. Booth took him across the chalk here.
Got to be careful.
And he just brought him back up to ground level. Wasn't nicely. Did it via bringing his jumper.
I think you realise that there was about 17 other Lavington players.
Yeah, he was outnumbered heavily.
And on the bench too.
As the siren sounds here at the WJ Finlay Oval for three-quarter time. And the Peterborough Home scoreboard reads 6:11:47 to the Rovers and 6:9:45 to the Lavington Panthers. 2-point ball game as we get ready to bring you a massive final term here on O&M Live. 2-point ball game, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
A.T. Jones, your local Davey specialists for
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
WJ Finlay Oval awaits the Wangaratta Rovers 6:11:47. Noses in front of the Lavington Panthers 6:9:45. Blake Panderescott with you. Gus McLeod. We got Bobby Jackson and David Wink as well, having a little chuckle with us up here on the commentary box at the balcony today. Winky, Aubrey Vital Air caught his best place in that third quarter. It was a beauty.
Yeah, it was a beauty. The crowd really got involved from both ends. They were going back and forth, but Will Christie was outstanding in that quarter, I thought, for Wangaratta Rovers. Really took the game by the scruff of the neck, especially after Lavington had the control early in that first half of the quarter. And then for Lavington, I thought Ed Perryman again. You've clipped me 3 times, I reckon, now for not taking his numbers, so I'll make sure I won't do that again. But he's been outstanding all game. I think he's probably been Lavington's best for the full game.
He certainly has been. Bobby Jackson circling down there, trying to find someone to have a chat with, I reckon. Is our man Bobby J. But to tell you what, we've got a wonderful game on our hands here. Fourth quarter, not far away from starting thanks to tyre power.
We've got some more snacks behind you too, Blake.
Boys, I've got Sammy Hargrave down here, injured Lavington midfielder. What was the message there from sides? It sounded like there was a fair bit of positive reinforcement in regards to taking the game on.
Yeah, we feel like we've got the legs. We feel like we can outrun them, and if we keep the pressure up, we can get the win.
Certainly in the game, mate, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. We're full of confidence.
Good boy, well done, thank you.
I think you'll find that's brother Tom, by the way, Bobby J. Tommy Hargrave, the
Sam will love that.
The injured co-captain. He's a star, is Tommy.
So Sam.
He is indeed, yep.
You don't get that insight from Scott Montgomery, do you, boys?
No,
Bobby Jackson, the best in the business.
He's got a bit of work to do, our man Monty, who is well and truly on the cans today, watching some Hume League footy. A big thanks to Paul Squires and the crew, Mario and the guys here at the Rovers, who are sorting us out with a couple of desserts as well. I've got a chocky cake. I reckon Gus has just demolished a Lamington. No, he's got a couple of jelly slices right to his right.
I didn't do that. That's very good.
He was trying to hide them too, Blake, and now he's claiming that he didn't take them off the plate. I saw him grab both of them.
After 6 spring rolls in the second quarter as well.
The amount of
mayo.
The amount of bullying claims I could put in today is through the roof.
Gus, he's about to get us underway for tyre power.
I'm about to launch a big compo payout as well. Here we go, the fourth term of the WJ Finlay. Double slap forward from Jack Driscoll, but Catapan roved it nicely, got taken high, and he won't play the advantage. He'll say, I'll go backwards, and he'll give the ball to the coach in Sam Murray, the booming left footer. Gets the Rovers inside forward 50, 2-on-1. Davies in a wrestle. Cooper at the back. He got legged that time. Umpire let it go. Christie was there. Here's McCartney. Handball's trying to find McCarthy. Lavington have numbers. Appeals for holding the footy. Umpire says we'll throw it back into play.
This is where you want to be, Gussie, on the balcony on a big, close game.
Talk about Lamington's bit of hedgehog in front of you, Balarko.
I know, don't worry. I'll eat the hedgehog all right.
You love a hedgehog.
Certainly do. Boundary throw-in, a high up and under. Christie tapped it down the front. Thompson back to Christie, was dispossessed. Glanville of the Billy variety. Annette's kick was partially smothered. Ball still 5 metres out from the Rovers' goal, and we have a stoppage. We've played about a minute for Maccas in this fourth quarter for tyre power. So we've only had 12 goals combined for the whole day, but we've got a close one. That's what we want. Christie down to Glanville. Hurried kick out of defence. Might find his brother Jack. Quick hands to Ryan. You got to get rid of it, Paddy. He did just in time because Murray was on his hammer. O'Brien, beautiful kick in the middle of the ground. Here's Jack Costello, hand passing on to your man, Shawnee Driscoll.
Here's my man, Shawnee, kicking inside 50, Darcy Smith. He marks uncontested. Gee, they move the footy with pace, the Lavington Panthers. Darcy burnt Sean Driscoll running into the open goal, and I really needed that for the fantasy, so you'd want to kick this one, Diggers.
Did you guys see the no-look handball from Jack Costello in the middle of the ground? Absolutely
Brilliant.
Nick Dacos-like. Brilliant.
So Darcy Smith has got Sharon in hand. He's already popped up with one today. This Panda has a little bit of hedgehog. Darcy Smith, the ever-important first goal of the final term, will be an enormous momentum swinger. His side trails by 2 points. Darcy Smith will kick from 40 metres out in a 35-degree angle. Evans Street end. Here comes the right footer. Strikes it nicely through the big sticks. He's got his second. And Lavington have got 7. They hit the front by 4 points thanks to border switchboards.
That's a sweet kicking footballer there, fellas. That was never deviating off the middle of the goals. He was worked himself up into the middle of the ground to set up defensively, and then as soon as the ball got turned over, he burnt Shag and Nolan off and took a nice mark about 45 metres out and put down the glasses. That was a fantastic finish. And as Tommy Hargrave said at three-quarter time, they're back in their fitness and they're back in their, they get up and go to get through the Rovers defensive setup and get the job done here.
That all started with Jack Costello. You mentioned that look-away hand pass, Bobby. He's up to 16 disposals. If he can have 6 or 7 touches in this last quarter, Lavington win for mine.
You watch him, he will not come off the ground. He is some sort of runner. That had to be a free kick to Philo, who's getting hold off the square. Umpire says play on. Ryan has 2 Rovers to beat, just has to halve the contest. Was grabbed without it. Should have been a free kick, and he's in a bit of trouble here, Ryan. Tumbling kick inside 50. Christie got 2 mitts to it. Davies has done a really good job since he's been forced to go in defence. Catapan's kick is a minor score, and Paddy Ryan is limping off the ground. It looks like Bobby Jackson for Cora Tiles.
I reckon he's got some part of the leg caught in the turf when he got driven into the ground there, so I'll keep a close eye on that. He's getting better as he's coming off.
Minor score for border switchboards. 48 plays 51. Panthers lead at the 3rd minute mark for Maccas.
And Lavington have Sharon in hand. O'Brien kicks at the showground side wing, and he finds Jack Glanville. So Jack has it for the Panthers between centre wing and half back on the showground side of the WJ Finlay Oval. Lavington lead 51-48 thanks to border switchboards as Lavington kick long down the line. Big Jack, here's Driscoll. Handballs onto Shawnee. Sean Driscoll inside 50. Darcy Smith and Nolan. Well done, Nolan. Got the fist. Murray tries to crumb. Lavington have numbers inside 50. O'Brien's got to be clean. Got the kick away in the nick of time, and now it's a genuine foot race. You're not going to see Aiden Cook make it to stall, but you might see him hit the burners here at the WJ Finlay. Philo wrapped up in a tackle, holding the ball. Beautiful tackle there from Nick Patton. I thought Brody was a bit stiff, but we like the atmosphere. Patton's a kick and a half from home. Stops, props, and goes in the left boot to the hot spot for Lavington. Shawnee Driscoll flew high, brought it front and centre. Costello was dispossessed. Nolan chasing this one. So is Brody Paul. Now Allison has it at half-back for the Rovers.
He does, far side of the ground. 51 plays 48. Panthers in front. Allison kicks a beauty. Christie's been their most prolific forward for the day. He's got it on centre wing. He's got Thompson short, but ignores him. Instead, goes straight inside 50. Cooper, 2 to beat, brought it to ground. And we have a boundary throw in. Arc of the 50 in the boundary line. Rovers kicking to the bar reserve end. Bobby Jackson, you can feel the tension in this one for Cora Tiles.
Yeah, the tension's certainly high here, and the Rovers are starting to rotate quite heavily, and that tells me that they're looking at their petrol tickets, and the Panthers they're on top of the ground. They're flying at the moment, so the Rovers want to be methodical with what they do in the next 15 minutes here.
Cora have kicked the first 2 of the last quarter. They trail by 10 points around the grounds for Evolution Roofing up against Yarrawonga. Ball still in attack for the Rovers. Costello, he's getting to work in this last quarter. Big kick long down the line. Driscoll caught between 2 Rovers. Did well to halve the contest. Ball camped down on the far wing. And we're going to have a stoppage to the left of the scoreboard, which reads 7-9-51 Lavington, 6-12-48 the Rovers. Here's Gus McLeod, 4th term for Tyre Power.
Looking forward to getting to the Northo tonight, Panda.
Oh, yes.
I hope they've got a few Carlton Dries, ice cold on tap. Nice work from McCarthy. Fed the ball out wide. Dylan Stone for the Rovers. Running inside forward 50 now. They kick to the top of the goal square. Well done, Jesse Hart. Really good contest against Cooper. And the kick inside 50 from Dylan Wilson was good in his return game. We'll bring it back into play. 30 metres out from Rovers goal. Any 40 winkies thanks to 40 winks, David?
No one that's really standing out apart from that young fella, Jack Costello. He's up to 3 disposals early in this quarter and, really starting to stamp his authority in this last quarter.
Won't go off the ground.
No, he's a big game player of the future, is Jack Costello. Here's an opportunity for Charlie Thompson from the contest. Kai Davies, he crunched it out of the contest on the last line of defence. Cooper, he missed from the snap. Top of the goal square, missed to the left-hand side, and Big Coops, he's kicked 1 goal, 3. Panda, it hasn't been his day in front of the big sticks. The Rovers, they moved to 49 to the Panthers 51 on the Border Switchboard scoreboard.
They've had 19 scoring shots to 16, Bobby J. I can't help but think this could come back to bite the Rovers right on the bum.
Yeah, I think you smack on there, Panda. The frustration's just starting to grow with the Rovers. They're questioning every inside 50 that's coming in now, and yeah, you just got to be careful here. They got to get it right real quick.
I have to say, if the Panthers were to hold on here, this would be some sort of win under Ada Schneider's tenure. Back against the wall, 4 changes, late changes, and here's Shawnee Driscoll on the wing. Hand pass was not a hand pass. In fact, he threw it. The umpire said holding the ball and a free kick to the Rovers. Defensive side of the wing and marking in front of the scoreboard. Here is Dylan Stone for the Rovers.
Stone wants to kick down the showground side wing. Christie and Davies, and a nice defensive play there.
The work rate defensively for Lavington at the moment to create the one-on-ones and win the one-on-ones, or at least halve the one-on-ones, is remarkable. They're just finding a way to make it difficult for every Wangaratta Rovers target forward of the footy. They've done really well today.
Alex Bennett, you wrapped him up last week, Panda. He's been superb today.
Beats his man.
A 1-point player coming back to the club. Absolute gold. In dispute as the Rovers kick inside forward 50, trying to find McCartney. He brought it front and square. McCarthy kicked to the top of the goal square. They ended up going out of bounds on the full. So the bad kicking is bad football, and that's been the theme today for the Rovers. Poor in front of goal, poor by foot. And the disposal efficiency will be an area of the Premier Data stats, thanks to the 40 winks they'll look to address during the week. 51 plays 49 for Border Switchboards. Lavy have it in the back pocket.
8 minutes played for Maccas. 4th term for A1 Tyre Power. And one of those 4 late inclusions, Gaffney, goes short. And marking on his defensive arc of 50 is Billy Glanville. His numbers, Winky?
This is 22 for Billy.
It's been good again. Goes short to his brother Jack. They just seem to find each other. They did it a lot last week as well. So Jack, not a high disposal game. He's had 20 odd in the first couple of weeks and hit the scoreboard. Hasn't done so today. Kick down the line. Newton got 2 hands to it. Turnover. And Damon, really good play. Forward hand pass finds Thompson. He's got a bit of space in front of him. Pops it over the top to Allison. They got the overlap here, the Rovers. Short inside 50, poor kick. McCartney and Allison not on the same page, and young Charlie Douglas intercepts for the Panthers, and they look to switch the footy.
Lavington are noticed to be playing small ball. They've got a small deepest, which is Darcy Smith, whereas the Rovers are still opting to kick to the traditional big 3. So Lavington have the ball in hand with Sean Driscoll across half-back. 45-degree kick inboard, finds its way to Ed Perryman.
How many for Shawnee, Winky?
Sean's up to 12 for the game, but he's had 4 this quarter. So he's really getting busy when the game's on the line.
He gets busy, Sean Driscoll. Kick inboard, okay. Had to work hard there was Corby Robertson. Now Charlie Thompson mops up. Jace McQuaid, he's a long way from the defensive goal. Back to Thompson. Inside 50 go the Rovers, 2-on-1. Great crumbing work from Schulte. Wrapped up in a Bennett tackle. And we'll ball the footy up 45 metres out from Rovers' goal. 10.5 minutes gone here thanks to Maccas. The next goal, oh so important.
He's been so good today, Bennett. Really lost a contest. Christie tumbles it to the hot spot Cooper, who's had his work cut out today. Jesse Hart has done an almighty job on him. The whole Lavington back 6 have been fantastic. Kick 1-3 Coops, had a couple of chances. We've got a boundary throw in. Deep into attack for the Wangaratta Rovers, who still trail by 2 points. We'll go around the ground soon.
10-point lead to Yarra.
Playing Cora Rutherglen in the other Saturday game. What a tap from Christie down to Murray, who wants to find his left foot and kick a coach goal. What a finish from Sam Murray. The superstars stand up when it matters. And the Rovers regain the lead by 4 points. A wonderful tap from Christie down to Murray, and a steal-line goal today for Muzz.
Yeah, Sam Murray spent a little bit of time on the bench the last probably 5-6 minutes, and you could just see the body language. He was getting a little bit concerned, a little bit frustrated with some of the play going on, and he just was ready to get back out there and have a bit of an impact on what was unfolding in front of his eyes. So that was, everybody in the whole oval knew that he wanted his left foot, and he got it.
19 disposals for Sam Murray today, and that just aggressive nature that he attacked that contest. There was no one else who was going to win that footy bar him.
Bobby J, thanks to Corowa Better Electrical. Just keep your eye on Kai Davies. He doesn't look right. He was holding his shoulder as he come to the bench.
Yeah, he's got his hands in his head.
55 plays 51. The Rovers in front of the Panthers. Nice contest from Swinnerton and Allison, and Murray mops up the footy and opts to go for distance. They get inside 50 of the Rovers. Here's Alex McCarthy. Needs a good bounce. Goes backwards. Booth. Horrible kick off the boot. Went about 5 metres in the air, 5 metres laterally, and landed out of bounds on the full. Lavington will regain it.
You won't see a worse kick for the year.
Oh, you haven't seen much twos footy this year, Panda, I can tell you that much. Inboard go the Panthers. They're going to look to come inboard once again. Patton marks on the Arca defensive 50.
Got it from Charlie Douglas. So Patton uses the ball so well, finds Costello. Watch him motor. Exits D50. Good kick as well. Well weighted for Glanville. Great defensive effort there from O'Brien. Ball hits the deck right in front of our commentary position. Cooper inside out Banana down the line. Murray just out-muscled Costello. Had him in the air for height. Plays on straight away to Sam. Runs to 55. He's lifting in this last quarter. Top of the goal square. Christie! Cometh the moment. Cometh Sam Murray. He's making things happen in this last quarter for A1 Tyre Power, and Christie this time is on the end of a Murray masterclass.
Good players just know when to impact themselves into the game, and Sam Murray is right off the top rung, boys, and he's making a massive imprint on this game, particularly the last 2 or 3 plays. He's said enough's enough. It's time to put the foot down.
So Christie kicked 1 in the 3rd quarter. This for his 2nd, and to give the Rovers a mini break and a 10-point advantage in this 4th quarter. Top of the goal square, makes no mistake. Finishes off some magic from Sam Murray. 61 plays, 51 for Border Switchboards. What's happening in this 4th quarter? David Wink for 40 Winks.
5 disposals for Sam Murray, and he's really imposing himself now. Just the will to see the game's on the line and go, no, I'm not going to stand there as a coach and ask the players to do it. I'm going to do it myself. He's been absolutely phenomenal in this last quarter, and he looks absolutely cooked, Mus. He's right in the middle of the ground, though. He's clapping. He's trying to get the boys to jump on his back, and the Rovers might run away with this one here.
And that's off the back of a couple of poor decisions in the 3rd quarter too, Winks, isn't it? With Sammy, not his normal high standard. He's come out and just gone, righto, this is what I can do.
As Panda said, a mini break to the Rovers. They lead by 10 points at the 14-minute mark, thanks to Maccas. 8-13, plays 7-9 on O&M Live. The Rovers in front of Lavington. In the middle, Thompson is going to try and break away. Opts to kick as high and as long as he possibly can to the arc of 50. Catapan was held. Umpire missed the blatant one. Lavington's back 6 are under the pump here. Snap on goal from Alex McCarthy wasn't the best. Tracking this one is going to be Del Zotto. Got a decent bounce, did Jai. Top of the goal square. Order the big sticks. It's through. Lavington hold their breath, but the Rovers celebrate a goal. Jai Del Zotto, the man who spent 17 years playing the round ball code, has popped up and kicked a much-needed goal. 3 goals in a row for the Rovers. 2 goals in a minute. The margin's out to 16 points.
Good teams know how to flick the switch. I think the Rovers have just learned how to do that. The last 4 or 5 minutes has been pretty good. Their intent, their polish, their finish has been what we expect from them. And there's a lesser like just did the job for them there. And he's come off for no, that's not him. No, I thought he was coming off for well-earned rest. But he's done well there and finished off the smart play that has been happening in front of him.
Murray, Catapan and Thompson all getting their hands on the ball in this last quarter. The big guns standing up for the Wang Rovers.
And all of a sudden, 3 goals in 4 minutes. And the Rovers lead by 16 points. Over to you, Lavington. Have you got another couple of punches to throw back at the Rovers? Jack Glanville in the middle of the ground. Kicks to the hot spot. Lavington's got me, Gussie.
Oh, Panda's been done by a Lavington. Lavington 1, Panda 0. As we're inside 50 for the Lavington Panthers. You can't make this crap up. Here on O&M Live. Panda's got their headset off and the Panthers need to respond. Smith left it behind. Ferocious attack on the football from both sides. We'll ball it up top of the goal square, 20 metres out. 16 and a half minutes gone here. Umpire throws the Sherrin aloft. Damon in the ruck, tries to wrestle his way through. Thompson got crunched by Billy Glanville. We'll have another stoppage.
Has anyone checked on Panda?
Are you back, Balake?
I'm here. I'm crying, though.
Take it away for the Northo.
It was the hedgehog that Paul Squires gave me. That's a cue to not eat during live football. Catapan ripped off the footy by Hart. Ball in the middle of the ground. Perryman right foot kick. Glanville comes out and meets the footy. His hand pass was intercepted though. 16-point lead here to the Rovers. Smith, did he get one high? Umpire says yes. He finds a way to find a free kick, does Darcy. He's slow to get up, Bobby J, for Corowa Tiles.
Yeah, that was a bit over toward that tackle. I think that might, that was a bit interesting. I'd be interested to see the replay on that one there, but he certainly hit the ground nice and hard there, and he's coming off. Yeah, that didn't look real good in real life. He's
Evolution roofing around the grounds. Back-to-back goals for Yarrawonga sees them with the lead, 97 to Corowa 76 at the 20-minute mark. I reckon they're going to have enough here, the Pigeons.
21-point lead to Yarrawonga, looking for their first win of the year. And here's Billy Glanville kicking to the hot spot. Where are the Flyers? Oh, Murray! Umpire didn't pay it. No, he did. If he's not kicking goals or setting them up, he's taking unbelievable marks, and then he's turning the footy over.
Had to go long there, Panda.
Yep, Corby Robertson read it like a book, and he's intercepted for the Panthers. Pops it up to the top of the goal square. Oh, at the front of the pack, O'Brien. Damon tried to claim it. He's wrapped up by 4 Panthers, and we'll have a ball up top of the square. 67 plays 51. Deep into attack for the Panthers. The Rovers with the last 3. They lead by 16.
18 minutes gone for Maccas. Lavington need one here. Billy Glanville tries to assert some dominance here. Damon took it from the contest, got it on his boot, smothered, tackle, ball it up. Top of the goal square, Evans Street end here. The Rovers are trying to do everything to defend on the last line. We'll throw it up at the top of Lavington's goal. Well done by Brody Philo. Handball to space. O'Brien gathers. Left foot kick. Goes with a worm burner. Trying to find Christie. Great hands and running patterns from Brody Philo. He's taken a bounce. He'll take 2. True centre wing. Club room side of the WJ Finlay. Gains about 100 metres. Kicks out of bounds on the full to the Bronx cheers. But it's not a bad play for the Rovers. They'll set up behind the ball. Regain some numbers. And Lavington will get the ball back into play here via Douglas.
There's copping of it a stick there from the Panthers twos, boys, and I reckon he's just turned around and said, boys, come on now. You can't be giving me shit. I'm Brody Philo.
Yeah, come on, Brad.
I don't know if that's what he would have said, Panda.
He probably would have said it a bit harsher than that. Schulte has intercepted and then goes to that man, Brody Philo, and he just looks to the Panthers twos, boys. Look at him.
Shows him the ball.
Yeah, I love it. Country footy at its best. And then he pumps the Rovers long with a 65-metre entry. Good mark. Alex Bennett. How good has he been in defence today for the Panthers? Philo points to the scoreboard. He's given it back to the boys. I'll bring it on, Gussie, last couple of minutes.
20 minutes gone. Ball goes out to O'Brien. On the showground side wing, he comes in board. Didn't strike it well, but Sanson was up to the challenge. Edge of the defensive centre square. Inboard, too much. Murray just busts his way through. Little slap, clever 2-1 play there with Nolan. But Lavington, they regather numbers. Murray applies a tackle and the ball's in dispute as we'll ball it up.
Just on Sam Murray's game today, boys. We've seen the good, the bad and the ugly from Sam today, haven't we? We've seen a bit of everything.
Tonight's had enough, Gussie. He's down on the box now.
4 seasons in one day from Muzz, bit of everything. 20 and a half minutes gone here for Maccas. 51 plays 67, the Rovers in front of the Panthers. Appeals for holding the ball. Umpire lets it go. Now goes Catapan inside 50 for the Rovers. Kai Davies met it head on, and Charlie Thompson met him head on. Kai got the ball away, but the umpire said, we'll ball it up, edge of the centre square, and the junction of the 50 here in attack for the Wangaratta Rovers.
They've kicked the last 3 after they trailed by a few points at the start of this last quarter. They lead by 16, all thanks to border switchboards. 20 minutes played for Maccas. Bennett, been brave all day. Ball in between half back and wing. Broadcast side favouring the Rovers. And we'll have a stoppage, and everyone takes a collective breath around the WJ Finlay Oval. The balcony's getting boisterous. Sponsors Day here. They're well refreshed, which is what we love to see. Damon cleverly tries to gain it out of the ruck. O'Brien onto Thompson. Breaks the arc of the 50. Pumps it to a vacant goal square. Cooper gets back. And it's through for a minor score. 17 points the margin, 68-51. It's got to be perfect, Gus McLeod, for the Northo Hotel in this last quarter if the Panthers do cause a boil over.
We've had 4 goals and a few little mini stoppages, so we might have 4 or 5 minutes left. From fullback, it's Patton. He finds Sean Driscoll across half-back for the Panthers. On the right boot to a 3-on-1, and Shaganolan got a big fist for the Rovers. Trying to keep it alive is Sanson, but he's unable to. And Glanville takes it across for a boundary throw in front of Bobby J for Corowa Tiles and Better Electrical.
Yeah, all players are out on their feet here. They're relying on pure talent here right now, these last couple of minutes, boys.
22 minutes gone, 68-51. It's the Rovers in front. Newton takes the game into his own hands, breaks away and kicks inside 50, but Will Christie's floated back. No. Whistle.
Perryman for a hold.
Poor communication from the Rovers. Will Christie was going to fly and take an intercept mark uncontested. Perryman's got it. 50 metres out, 45-degree angle. Top of the goal square's the destination. They need a flyer. The Rovers stay at ground level. Del Zotto slaps it out of bounds. We won't pay deliberate here. We'll ball it back into play. 15 metres from Lavington goal. 9-14-68. The Rovers lead the Panthers 7-9-51. Thanks to Border Switchboards. 23 minutes gone for Maccas.
Can't help but think Perryman should have gave that one to Newton, who was running past with the hands, and he had the journey from all of 52 metres, Winky.
Yeah, he should have handballed that one off. Newton was had all the momentum running forward and had no one chasing him.
So a boundary throw in here. Right end of the ground for the Panthers. Damon taps it down. It needs to be perfect here for Lavington. They've been so brave all day. 4 soldiers down, 4 changes they had to make before the ball was even bounced. And we have another stoppage into attack for the Lavington Panthers. 7-9-51 to the Rovers. 9-14-68. 23 minutes played. Seconds tick over. Gus McLeod for Maccas.
Lee Matthews' theory, a goal a minute. There's 23 and a half gone here for Maccas. I reckon the clock's against him, but holding the ball. Billy Glanville's going to get it. He's going to open up the fat side. Dangerous looking ball. Pat Ryan marked it, but they've actually gone backwards 5 metres. Ryan, inside 50, mark's been taken. Costello, he's going to have to kick this one 48, 49 metres directly in front. He's going for a short run up his Jack. Arcs around, right foot kick, looks pretty good. Jack Costello gives the Panthers a sniff. 57-68 at the 24-minute mark. Maybe there's a bit of life in this one for the Panthers, Bobby J.
You're right there. They need some real clean footy here. They need to score one in the next passage of play to be a chance. I'm with you, Gus. I reckon it's about 27, 28-minute mark that this quarter's going to go for. So, yeah, they're still there. They're still running on top of the ground, some of these boys out here. So they're super fit. But Butsy's done a great job getting these boys really conditioned to play a fast, energetic footy for 4 full quarters.
Jack Costello up to the 20 touches in that goal. He's hasn't had the amount of footy as he has the last couple of weeks, but has really been influential still for this Lavington side. Billy Glanville also up to 25 as well.
If he can add a goal a game or just under, he will become a premier midfielder in this competition, Jack Costello. Here's Swinnerton. Hasn't been his day, but it could be his last couple of moments. Here's Glanville again. Panthers are going forward. Kick was to no one really in particular. A lot of Rovers numbers there. Glanville, that's Jack. Goes by hand to Bennett. Gang tackled. Hand pass goes to Ryan. Was he caught high? Umpire says, give it to me.
Just at that centre bounce, boys. Will Christie started in the back 6 as a loose man.
Yeah, he's behind the ball. He's at the top of the goal square. So it's got to be a good entry here for Lavington. Ball up. 70 out from their goal. Jack Driscoll. Caught holding the ball. Umpire blindsided. Says play on. The Rovers grub it down the line. Cooper and Hart. Cooper does well. Taps it over the boundary line. We'll have it thrown in 4 to centre on the wing. 68 plays 57. Rovers with an 11-point lead at the 25th minute mark for Maccas. Gus McLeod.
So I reckon the clocks are going to be against the Panthers here. They've been brave, but the Rovers are going to hang on. The reigning premiers. Back into play. Missed both ruckman. Booth got the handball away. A net for Lavington, kicks the centre half forward. Glanville's all alone. This is Jack.
Perryman.
Kicks over the top. Ed Perryman got it on the half volley. Great hands from Ed. Left foot kick inside 50. Picked up nicely by O'Brien. Centres the footy, looking to find Newton. He's at the back of the contest. Sells a bit of candy. Finds the right. One kick ball game. Steel line goal today from the Panthers via Nick Newton. He's kicked his second, and it's a one-kick ball game here at the WJ Finlay Oval.
Wow.
Yeah, we've just got both benches here trying to find out off the time cameras how long to go. Everyone's looking at the time box.
Lavington, they're right next to him.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Schneider's out of the box. He's down on the boundary. What about the candy, Bobby J, from Nick Newton?
He's a star. He's a real star. He's got some real star qualities, Nick Newton, and that finish was up off the top shelf. So this is, she's all go now, boys.
Sneaking forward here is Jesse Hart. The Rovers haven't found it yet. No 6-6-6 here.
So Jesse Hart's gone forward. This clearance is so vital, and it goes the way of the Wang Rovers. If it sits here for McCarthy, he's got Schulte all at half forward. Ball evades him. Hand passes to Thompson. Left foot kick finds McCartney. They were out on their feet, the Panthers. They'd all pushed up the ground, and McCartney can take 30 seconds off the clock. If he kicks a score, it'll make it all mightily hard for the Lavington Panthers, Bobby J.
I could see what Nige was doing there. He was throwing all his eggs into one basket and back in his midfield to win that centre break, to get the ball to players like Jesse Hart and so forth have pushed down the ground. And what that happens in turn is the Rovers had loose men everywhere in their forward 50.
So a score here will make it an even 6 points. If he kicks a goal, the game is over. Lockie McCartney, 45 metres out, 45-degree angle. It's a minor score. And you watch Nick Patton roost this out of defence. 1 goal ball game, 69 plays 63. It's got to be perfect here for the Panthers at the 28th minute mark for Maccas.
It's a really crucial point, that from Lockie McCartney. They're going to need a 7-point play as Lavington are going to opt to go through the corridor. Nice kick inboard. Murray ends up with Sharon in hand and sends the Rovers back into attack. Patton on the last line of defence. Mopped up by Alex McCarthy. This to ice the game. It's a very handy point. The Rovers hit the front by 7 points. Lavington are going to need 2 at the 29-minute mark. They're going to play on from full-back. Kai Davies kicks a long, raking one in the middle of the ground. Damon's in the hole, and it's marked beautifully by Lockie O'Brien, who's going to ice the game for the Wangaratta Rovers. Lavington were brave at the home side. The reigning premiers held on 9-16-70 to 9-9-63. Blake Panda Escott, a really good final term on O&M Live.
Oh, absolutely. Darcy Smith put the Panthers in front by 4 points when they trailed at three-quarter time. The Rovers out of nowhere kicked 3 in a row to lead by 16 points. And then Costello and Newton made it a one-point ball game. And a wonderful win for the Wangaratta Rovers. On home soil, they weren't at their best today, but that last quarter of Sam Murray in a 5 or 6 minute period just put the game on his shoulders, put the team on his shoulders, and was probably the reason why the Wangaratta Rovers won in the end. It'll be pretty hard, Bobby J. I know you're out in the boundary having a look around to find an Anytime Fitness player of the day. You and Winky can have a 1 minute chat between each other, but I tell you what, it'll be hard to find a player of the day.
Yep, you're right. There was a lot of players that had their moments and a lot of players that didn't have their moments. So it's just there's a lot of players that could put their case forward from both sides to be the best player on the day today.
Charlie
but
Thompson had 27 and kicked a goal.
Yeah, his name was on the top of my list, and Will Christie had an impactful day most of the day as well. So
we'll see what he can come up with.
Thank
Bobby.
you, mate.
He'll do some of his best work down there with David Wink. Gee, they were brave, Lavington Panda, weren't they? They threw everything at the Rovers. If you look at the scoreboard, the Rovers will probably say they rued their chances, but you can only play what's in front of you, and Lavington threw up a really good fight, 9-9-63 to 9-16-70. In essence, they both the same amount of goals, but the repeat inside 50s and the dominance from the Rovers probably throughout the 4 quarters what got them across the line, Panda.
I think you'll find Adam Schneider is super proud of his charges. As I said, they were already undermanned, having to make 4 late changes.
And big changes too.
Yeah, big changes. John O'Spina Tim Osterhoff. That's your two key pillars at both ends of the ground. They
both co-captains in Hargrave and Spooner.
Schneids and Murray just having a really nice moment there as well in the middle of the ground between each other. Here is Bobby Jackson. He's found Charlie Thompson.
Yeah, boys, we got player of the day. Anytime player of the day, we got Charlie Thompson down here, mate. That was a real arm wrestle today, wasn't it, mate?
It was. Well, we felt like we dominated the first half. Inside 50s, clearance, scoring shots, and we knew they'd stick around and give us a good show in the second half. And yeah, got a bit close for liking there.
Yeah, they run all day, the boys. They're really fit, young side, and they just kept coming at you hard and harder all day.
Yeah, we sort of said before the game, likely they probably play a bit of small ball against us. You know, they're not super tall, so the ball's on the ground. We felt like, you know, they might have a bit of an advantage with their speed. So for us, it was just about trying to control the footy.
Some sort of last quarter by your boss, wasn't it?
He's a good player. I enjoy playing with him. He gets tagged every single week and has to fight through it. And you know, we try and make life easy on him, but geez, he does a good job.
Yeah, the game was in the balance there, and he came on, had impacting probably 2 or 3 plays, and really got the team over the line.
Mate, he put us on his back there. That stoppage goal, they're so valuable, and then that one-on-one on the flank where he kicked it to the top of the goal square, and we got another goal out of it. And then so good to see a young bloke in only his third game kick a big goal late as well, sort of seal it for us.
You did all your hard work at the coalface today, mate. You've earned your best player of the day, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. I'll sleep well tonight.
Charlie Thompson, well done. Our Anytime Fitness player of the day with David Dawson-Wink, who has one job, that's to take a photo. And what did Winky do, Gus?
He forgot the phone.
He forgot his phone, so
now,
they had to throw mine down there.
He's got a Polaroid or some sort of other setup. And I think Charlie Thompson was a deserving winner. What were his numbers on the 40 winks?
27 disposals. He finished with 1 major, and his breakaway from contest stood out for mine. It was pretty quiet in the third quarter, but 7 touches in the last quarter. He had 9 and a goal in that second quarter. He was outstanding. As the Rovers get treated to a round of applause from their sponsors and their very loyal supporters on the balcony here, who got very boisterous and up and about, didn't they, Gussie? This is why I love the balcony, my friend. They were very up and about in that last quarter, cheering them over the line, and they will enjoy this 7-point win tonight.
A really important victory too, considering some of the other results in the competition. Yarrawonga defeated Coral by 19 points. North Albury had a victory as well, so that top part of the ladder, Panda, is going to be important to keep edging your way in front. And the Rovers, they've only had the one blemish in 2025, an opening game we lost to the Maggies, and since then they've managed to find 3 victories from 3 games. They've found their mojo once again. So Bobby J is going to enter the rooms thanks to Anytime Fitness and catch the Rovers theme song as they move to 3-1 in season 2025. Crystal clear, Bobby J's amongst the action. Here's the song.
We're the Wangaratta Rovers and we play in ground and goal. Oh, club made up a champion, it's tradition on the boat. Oh, take the field with grit, I take the opponents overseas. A team with little reds are dreaming of the victory. Ooh-wee, now we Rovers. We're not the team that all the others beat. Yes, we are. Ooh-wee, now we Rovers. The premiership's goal against you.
The Rovers 7-point victors on O&M Live, Panda.
Absolutely. A ball terror here on 201 Edge FM. Hope you enjoyed the action. Stay with us, our post-game show. All thanks to Harvey Norman betting on the other side of this. It was the Rovers 9-16-70 over the Lavington Panthers 9-9-63. We'll catch up with the coaches and some other players as well. On O&M Live, wherever you are around the country, you will not miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
Welcome to Sundancer Homes. We make building your dream home exciting and stress-free. Backed by over 30 years of experience, one of many reasons why we provide a lifetime structural guarantee. Visit our information centre at Dean Street, Albury.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.